Hello? Oh. Hi? Is it safe yet? Hello? Looks safe. Are you real? Yes, Sir Danish Raccoon, I am real. I'm here. It's been a while, but I am here. Sparky cute. My god, it continues. It really does continue. I can't escape it now. I really can't. It is what it is, though. It's been needed. And, hi, hello, how are you doing? If you're wondering what's up with this hard hat, well, I found out that it's an asset over on VTube Studio, so now I can actually wear something on my head whenever we're working on model kits together. Bit more than a while. Yeah, a lot of stuff happened. I was talking about that last night when I went live out of nowhere, and hang on. Where's the books? Hang on. Oh, that works. There we go. That's actually a lot better. Just grow in size, lol. Yeah, no, it's been a minute. How do I proceed about that? I mean, I technically talked about it last night during the stream, but I was in a funk. I was in a real bad funk. Like, work getting me down, life getting me down, a lot of stuff just kind of getting your boy down. And now I'm kind of back. Emphasis on the word kind of, because, well, I don't know how long I can keep it up. I want to be able to keep it up. I've got a backlog of model kits that I got to go through, and I've got a bunch of video games I need to sit down and play on my computer. I got to get back to building a park in Jurassic World. I got to get back into Digimon. You deserve good things, good vibes, good food and drink, and a good laugh. Sparky, it feels weird because it's like you and I have the same name. But you know what? If I had a way to do it, I would say dap me up. Dap me. You know, hang on. I got you. Hang on. We're just going to switch over here. Hold on. Hey, Flesh Pilot. Yeah, Flesh Pilot. Do the thing. Don't look at me like that. Do the thing. Get your hands on the screen and do the thing. Okay? Dap. There, dapped up. He's in a bit of a mood today. Do not mind him. I should probably shrink a little bit more down. As you can see, one of the kits that we were working on last night, turned out we got most of that done. Look at him. Could you pick him up and bring him to the camera a little bit? Thank you. Look at that. Look at that. We're getting there. He's almost done. This special little babu. He's actually really well put together. A lot bigger than what the camera's probably suggesting between my hands and everything, but he is quite the unit. But yeah, no. I've been in a funk. Life kind of been on and off, good, bad, busy, especially busy. Had some events go by where I wish it was better. But hey, it's all good. It's all chill. I'm kind of back. I hope to stay back. And now we can kind of get back into what we were doing before, where we just yap, put some model kits together, and maybe in the future, I'll even play a video game. Lord knows I got plenty of games that I can actually play. I've been addicted lately to Slay the Spire. That one is fun to do on your own, but it's even more fun when you have friends that you can, like, tag in and have a good time, party up, and go on a quick little adventure. You're still alive. That's a good thing. Exactly. We're on this side of the dirt. I like this helmet. I don't know why I like this helmet. It reminds me of the little helmets that what was it in? I think it was in Mega Man. It was either Star Force or Battle Network, or maybe both. But one of the basic enemies are just these little balls with feet. They carry around pickaxes, and they have these big old helmets on their head, and that's what this one reminds me of. So yeah. But that's enough about me. While my Flesh Pilot rubs his hands together and gets himself ready for building a model kit, what have you guys been up to? What have we been doing in the background? What is up? And I cannot stress this enough, my gamers. You know, in hindsight, I probably should have done something different with these eyes. Not sure. But I get the distinct impression I'm going to be taking this apart later and Putting something different there. Call it a hunch. Call it a hunch. In the meantime, let's see how far along I can get into this. Did I do both of these already, or did I not cut that out yet? I did not. All right, we'll get that cut out. Oh, man. God, I gotta catch up on so much. Today was actually a surprisingly lazy day. I probably should put my clothes to dry, but that can be a later in the afternoon type of thing. I know they're clean. As long as they're clean, I know that I'm pretty much set to do the flesh work that is required of me to put food on the table. Even if I'm running a bit low on those funds too, but hey, that's life. Sometimes you got bills that you can pay all at once, sometimes you don't, and you got to figure it out. That's all you got to do is just figure it out. I got to remember that after payday, though, I really should sit down and see about not placing the order, but concluding the order with my with Rexy in the mail. Make sure that that gets delivered. Want to make sure that she comes home good and safe, you know? These pieces are mirrored, so I've been trying to construct them at the same time because that saves a tremendous amount of time and frustrations for later. I've been gaming with friends, had a very much needed shower, now I'm cleaner than your clothes. How very dare you? What do you mean much needed, though? Have you been stewing in your stink? Have you been nasty? Have you been stinky? Have you been stinky on Maine? Like, what? I mean, if you have, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. I'm not gonna question your hygiene yet, but, you know. Let's get that chopped up here. Another empty runner. I'm going through these runners fairly quickly. I think the worst of these runners are going to be when we get to, like, the other parts there. But, I mean, hey, if you took a shower, you know, I'm proud. I'm proud. You got yourself up and you took a shower. You got rid of the stink. You got rid of the funk. Oh, don't roll away. Thank you. And you go over here. Long bike rides and depresso. It happens when I shook myself to do something. You know, fair. You know what? Fair. I can't even judge that. I probably should get back into this. Like, despite the fact that I'm an activity-based Digimon, I've not been doing a very good job of doing the thing that I'm supposed to be programmed to do, which is activity, and motivating others to do the activity. So, one of the things that I've been doing since about New Year's is working out. And when I mean work out, I mean, like, I got weights in the living room. I got a cool workout bench that, you know, is now collecting dust, and I should really fix that. And I loved working out. It was one of the few things that actually gave me a surprising amount of pleasure, was the idea that I come home from work, no matter how tired I was from work, no matter how bad the day was at work, working out was almost meditative. Like, I entered a weird flow state. I don't know how to, like, describe it, but I entered this weird state of mind where, you know, I felt good whenever I exercised. Like, lifting the weights for my arms felt good. Doing the bench presses where I'm laying down also felt good. A lot of that felt really good, and I'm imagining that's probably what riding your bike probably does for you as well. Push the boulder to gain HP. I mean, that's kind of what I had to do. Oh, are we following Monster? Not Monster. We're following Digimon World logic, aren't we? Listen, sometimes, as Billiam once said, you know, you're fresh to the world. Things look scary right now, but you really need to stand under this waterfall so that you can gain your stats. You know, as a Bodemon fresh to the world, you gotta, like, sit under this waterfall. Oh, if you know, you know. God, I really need to sit down and play Digimon World 1. I gotta get my hands on it, though. I know emulation exists, but, like, I tried emulating it on a totally legal device, by the way. I should point this out. Totally legal device. I have an Anbernic handheld. In fact, let me see if I can... Ah, cool, I can reach for it. So I got this a while back because I was really getting into Pokemon again. And check this out. This is not a Game Boy, because there's no way for a cartridge. This is an emulation handheld device. I love this thing, because I can play a lot of the games here. I can play Pokemon, like, from the Game Boy Colors, the original, all that good stuff, comfortably here. I can even run Dino Crisis from the PlayStation 1 on this bad boy. The problem? When I tried to load Digimon World, nothing. This thing does not work. It refuses to function, and I don't know why. It might be it might be the file. It might be a formatting issue. I haven't quite figured it out, but I want to be able to sit down and play the original game. Which is why on Twitter, I'm always voting with GOG, like, please. There are so many people who have voted for it. Please preserve a digital version of Digimon World, the classic game, so that people can, like, try this out for the first time in their lives. There are so many people who would love to try it out. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, because the game itself is very unusual from your standard type of my brain has just shot itself. It's very different from, like, standard RPGs, but I feel like it would be something for people to try. It was like a whole thing of, like, a different kind of game where you couldn't really have your hand held, and more importantly, even the guide that exists, the official guide to help you understand how to get some of the Digimon, would lie to you. You know, I think the best way I can describe it, I should probably boot up the video by Billiam, so that people can have an understanding of that. Because you would be surprised, honestly. Oh, I messed up. I messed up so bad. I messed up. No. No, wait. I think I messed up. I messed up. Can I pull this out? Or did I really just royal... Okay, there we go. Okay. So this goes here, I think. Hang on. There we go. And then this goes... Bruh. Oh, no wonder I can't tell what I'm doing next. Wally, over there. But we need a remake. Actually, a remake wouldn't be so bad. The closest we have to a remake would be Digimon World Next Order, but that's not a remake as much as it's a continuation, and it follows similarly to the original Digimon World, but it has some differences. I think some quality of life differences that make it kind of easier. Kind of. I've seen those on Facebook adverts. Glad to see that they're real and good. Yes. Yes, they are actually good. I promise you, Anbernic handheld devices are not bad. I would almost recommend getting your hands on the one that's shaped like a 3DS. Surprisingly not as strong as you think it would be, though. Somehow my handheld is stronger than the DS version, but I'm hoping that they will have hardened the technology enough that I could run like a 3DS game on it, and it would be so good. It was an experience as a child and a fun as fuck with Game Shark codes. Oh my god, they had Game Shark codes for Digimon World? Please go on. Explain that one to me. Because I don't think I've ever... I'm trying to think. Did I ever use a Game Shark for anything? Like, did I ever use code? No, I don't think I did. I don't think I've ever used a cheat code. Whoop, there it goes. I don't think I've ever used a cheat code for any of the video games I've played. Well, wait. Yes, I did. I forgot. Peter Jackson's King Kong, but on the GameCube. I figured out that if you pushed a certain button combination, you would unlock the code inputs, and you could get unlimited ammo, or you could get maxed out ammo. You could change the filter on the game so that it had like kind of like an old movie grain to it. That was cool. That was like honestly so cool. I think that was it. Okay, this is a very awkward piece here, and I'm not a fan of that. Okay, I think I have them connected. I just have to push them together. Okay, I think I have it pushed together. Did I miss anything with that? No, but this does look kind of awkward. I think it's because I forgot. Yep, okay. That's why I was having a hard time. This piece needs to be elevated. This piece is now one piece, not the one piece. It is just one piece. And I have to somehow replicate that with the other one as well. And with some smarts, unlimited money, plus highest tamer rating too. Oh god, the tamer rating, gosh. Yeah, maxed out stats from the start, all attacks unlocked, one hit kill, no poop or food needed. I would love the no poop needed, because having to run back and forth to the bathroom was kind of wild. Or if you raised a Numemon, I guess if you raised a Numemon, technically the problem solves itself because, you know, Numemon eat poop. Did you ever do the cool secret where if you took the Numemon to Toyland, he would go into the teddy bear skin? I say cool secret, but, you know, I really just like that little bit of lore that kind of translated from the original, what was it, from the original VPET device, which I have up there. I should probably hatch that one. The original VPET devices were so intensive when it came to, like, how much work you had to put into them, but God, they were so much fun. A lot more fun when you have more than one person raising a VPET and it's like, hey, you want to hatch and fight each other and stuff like that? And I think that's pretty cool. But alas, my friends are not as into the VPETs as I am. Ah, so you did. That's so cool. That must have been so exciting to see Numemon crawl in, and then you got the strongest ultimate level Digimon in terms of the vaccine variety. Like, in the game. Just Monzimon right there. Large and in charge. I love that. About the MGEX Strike Freedom, it is currently available from both Big Bad Toy Store and Amazon. I paid about the same price for my copy as currently listed there. Oh, that's not bad. I swear, I must have terrible luck because normally they're sold out for me, and where I would have to go and get them, scalpers. Just lots of scalpers, and I'm not for that. King Sukamon, undigivolved back to whatever I had previously to... What? We had a King Sukamon? I don't remember King Sukamon. I know about Sukamon, but I don't remember a King Sukamon. That sounds kind of cool, actually. I'm going to assume that King Sukamon is a chill dude. I'm going to assume that he is a good guy, because I don't want to sit here and be one of those people who, like, you know, trashes on the Trashmon. Because I love the Trashmon. I have a weird love-hate relationship with Trashmon, actually. Like, Raremon, for example. Like, on surface, Raremon should disgust me. And they do. They generally disgust me. But when I see a Raremon, and they make, like, the derpiest little faces, it's like, you know what? Perhaps I have judged you too harshly. Perhaps I have misjudged you entirely. And then they evolve somehow into X-Tyrannomon. And then I'm super confused and yet super fascinated by the idea that this little pollution creature somehow is connected to and evolves into a giant plush pink and green Tyrannomon with a demon inside of it. And it's like, you know what? More doll Digimon, baby. Let's go. More puppet Digimon, I should say, because I think they fit into the puppet category altogether with Monzimon, X-Tyrannomon, And I'm trying to remember if there are any other ones that crawl inside. I'm trying to remember. We have... Version 1, you had Monzimon. Version 2, you had the alien. Version 3 had... What did version 3 have, actually? I don't know. Wait a minute. I know about... Am I going to get them mixed up? Did I just completely forget? No, wait. I can't remember which one it is, but I think it's either the version 3 or the version 4. It might be version 3. The middle evolution is Edamon, and that one is also a puppet Digimon. So I think they went on and off, and I can't remember what the middle evolution was for the version 4 VPET. You know, I may have to just pull up the evolution charts. I don't know why. I literally have a computer here. Digitama Hatchery. There we go. Digitama Hatchery. My autism is going into overdrive thinking about Digimon World 1 and where everything is. No, for real, though. King Sukamon was in Trash Mountain, northeast of Gear Savannah. I really do got to sit down and play this game. Gosh. Because the only one I've ever played was Digimon World Next Order. And I usually try to have, like, my audience members tell me, all right, I'm going to pick one of you guys at random, pick an egg, and then we go from the egg to the evolution and go from there. And that's so much fun to do. Let's see, evolution guide. Okay, so there's Numemon to Monzimon. There's Vegemon to Vedamon. Okay, Sukamon was in... Yeah, or Skumon, whichever you prefer to call him by. Skumon was in version 3, who then became Edamon. And then you had Nanimon, who evolved into Digitamamon. What a strange evolution, just becoming an egg. Okay, but I guess that makes sense. You have an alien, then you have a plush toy, then you have the egg thing, and then you have another plush toy in the form of X-Tyrannomon, which for the longest time, I thought that whenever it made a certain face, I thought, oh, okay, so that's X-Tyrannomon, and those are his teeth. Wrong, those are his eyes. They're peeking through the teeth, and I thought that was such a cool detail. I don't think X-Tyrannomon made it into Digimon World 1, did he? You know, in hindsight, I probably should look into some of the Digimon that show up in Digimon World 1. I should probably pull up that Billiam video so that people have a general idea of the frustration of what I'm talking about in terms of, like, raising Digimon. It'll never be as difficult as raising the original Digimon in Digimon World for yourself. But, like, the idea that he was crazy enough and admirable enough, I might add, to go back and play the original game for what it was worth and just doing his absolute best and struggling, that is the Digimon experience. That is like peak Digimon right there. And no one can tell me otherwise. Okay, why are you so difficult right now? Okay, so you go here. Are these smaller or are they about the same size? These look like they're smaller, but they're not. I don't think they are. Oh. Oh, this is going to be giving me a hard time. Why are you giving me a hard time? No, for real. Why? Why? What am I doing wrong? Oh. I see. Hold on. I gotta go into the void. There we go. I would love to watch you play with the Game Shark codes and maybe see how crazy it is for you. No, I have no doubt that I'll have fun with it. Like, One of the things I do want to try is try to go for the blind experience, but I also know that the frustration of having to run back and forth to a bathroom where my full-blooded adult level Digimon should be able to use the bathroom on their own, but for whatever reason they can't. Like, I think there's a funny thing about that, but, you know, cannot be bothered to. I would be 100% down, though. I would be 100% down to try the original game. Maybe with the Game Shark codes to make it a little bit easier for me, perhaps, maybe, possibly. Not 100% sure. Love lurking. Ah, there you are. I was wondering where you disappeared to. I had assumed that you got busy or something, and I didn't want to disturb you or call you out. I know there are a lot of streamers out there that are like, oh, you know, gotta summon the lurkers real quick. And you know what? If I wanted to summon the lurkers, I would have done the usual streamer infantilization thing, where it's like, how do I summon them? Oh, don't you worry, I got you. Let me just old reliable. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to infantilize you. I don't like that. I mean, I know it's like a tongue-in-cheek, like, oh, you know, it's a antisocial thing, or, oh, you know, it's just silliness. It's autism. I'm not a personal fan of that. I'll probably do it once in a while for the bit, you know, purely for the joke of it. But we'll see. And holy crap, did I just... Keys also... oh my god. I jingle the keys and they're summoned. Hello. Hi, how are you? Wally says hello. And the long slog of grinding up for everything. That's true. That's true. I mean, I gotta go through the long slog of grinding when I'm playing Digimon World Next Order. It's not the same level of slog, I will fully admit that, but, you know, there is some grind. There is a lot of grind to that, actually. Wait a minute. I might be a bit confused here. Part of me thinks that for this one... because I love the expressive eyes, but I also don't want to, well, I don't know. This eyes set only has two expressions, wide open and that. I would almost probably take this one apart and probably put, like, these, sadder eyes. The one where it's kind of that expression. I'll figure out what I'm going to do with these expressions. I think for now we'll stick to default circles. And if they're simple enough to remove, then I won't complain too much, and we can easily just pop them out, and we can always change expressions, like, on the fly. If they're going to be difficult, then I will take it apart, and then we'll just have to decide in the future, like, what eye set we want for Wally to make him look decent. Okay, that's not bad. Standard circles for now. We'll figure out more expressive eyes in the future. Vandalize me harder, Daddy? Explain yourself right now. Why would you say that? Explain. Hi, all. Hello, Talik Hamilton. How are you doing? How you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. If you're wondering who I'm talking to, I probably should display, like, the chat on screen one day. Note to self, display the chat on screen. Probably found a way to put it onto YouTube Studio. If I could put it onto VTube Studio, I could probably just say, hey, here's the multi-chat so everybody can see who I'm talking to at the time. Vandalize me harder, Daddy. God damn it. I legit just woke up and got onto keys. I'm so glad. You said it, I just typed it. Listen here, you. You're talking to the voices. I am the voices. What do you mean? The voices in my head are all me. Hold on, I gotta take Wallace out of the way, and we've got to move some stuff because we technically took care of 2 birds with 1 stone. I can't believe we would kill a bird like that. Stay. All right, our next one is, okay, the eyes are complete, and now I have to build the centroid that will hold it to the ball joint at the neck here, because I can decapitate him whenever I want. Just decapitate him whenever I want. It's fine. Good. Tilly Hamilton, are you doing all right? Things looking good on your side of things? Sparky did nothing wrong. Well, which Sparky? Which Sparky, Sparky? I love the insanity that ensues. It feels nice. Feels good. Feels good. Hold it. Something's wrong here. That's an eyebrow. Did I put together a piece without the... Oh boy. Oh boy. Hang on. I am not going to have no smooth-eyed motherfucker without his eyebrows. Come here. You Sparky. What do you be? What do you be? What do you be? I'm going to be framed. I'm going to be accused of crimes I didn't commit. People are going to be rooked, schmeckeldorfed. Not even a word and they'll agree with me. Wait, did I? Ooh, that's a little dirty. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Just gonna nip that right there. That looks better. Okay. Okay, now back to the main business. We have this over here. One of the things I also want to get, because you have no idea how annoying having a little camera stand sitting directly on top of the desk is. When I save up a scratch, I want to get like a clamp stand that connects to... Because my monitors are right behind there by about a foot, give or take. And I'm thinking about getting like a nice sizable like clamp that will clamp onto the pole. And then I can pull it forward and have the camera there. And when I'm not using it, I can push it back. That kind of thing. I figured that would make it cleaner. It would free up some desk space. So, things to consider. Sparky cute, how dare you. Don't worry, I'm going to hydrate. Actually, let me check. Did I? Oh! Deshaun Bull also subscribed 15 hours ago. I don't know who that is, but I'm glad that they subscribed. That's pretty dope. And that was on YouTube. That's even better. Let me take a quick sippy. Just a brief sippy. It's fine. What things on your end? What things on my end? What things on my end? Well, things on my end are pretty good. You know, it's a little hot, but I think that's just what happens when you live in the NA servers during the turn of the seasons. Granted, I live in the southern end of the NA servers, so as a result, my climate is more towards the hot end. We don't have spring. We have, like, brief moments of winter, second summer, which is just a weaker summer after the heat of summer normally. And we have, I want to say that's it. Because we don't have real spring here. It's just, we go bypassing into summer now. And moderate temperatures, yeah. But here it's been a little bit on the warm side. And is that a hair? Oh my God, get out of there. Go away. So it's been a little bit on the warm side. Wet the thrust. Sparky. 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 I'm not that kind of mon. Sometimes. Anyway. Keep it friendly. Keep it friendly. We can't be violating TOS. Not today. Not today. Another day, maybe. This video is currently not available in... Are you serious? Get out of here. Trying to put on some music here. Let's see. The instructions are a little odd here, but it seems like... It seems... So I have to put it in like that? Oh... And I think this one goes in like this. We have summer, summer 2, those couple weeks of winter, and summer but rain. You know, thanks, boss. That's actually... I keep forgetting that you and I are basically in the same side of the NA servers. The NA servers are kind of wild over here. I almost dropped that into the abyss. That would have sucked so badly. Okay. And all I'm missing from here is a rod. Is this runner empty? Oh my god, this runner's empty. Finally, another one gone. These have been going by quickly. Like, I keep forgetting that I have, like, the bigger pieces that we have to worry about. There's going to be actual pain in the butt, but we're at least clearing through some of the rest of these runners fairly efficiently. I think if we're lucky, we might be able to finish this kit with some time to spare. And then I just have to figure out what I'm going to do for our next stream. Do I build another model kit? Which, hey, I wouldn't mind. I've got a backlog of plenty that really needs some work. I ain't going to lie to you. Or we could do something else. Was I supposed to put it all the way in like that? Nope, I wasn't. Okay. Did the music already stop? How dare you? Okay. Okay, so it's supposed to hyperextend like that, coming down like this, lock down like so. Oh, there's a clip on here. That's pretty cool, I think. Okay, so that makes some sense. So does that mean this connects here or down here? Oh, okay. Oh, wait, is this supposed to be like an enclosed mode? Like, okay, I think I get this. Okay. So I think this is supposed to be a deactivated head. I think. Okay. So then that means this piece, if it'll cooperate... It's not going to cooperate because I already screwed it up. Oh, yep, there we go. This is a mess. I don't think this is a head I'm going to be using. I don't think I want to collapse Wally in his collapsed mode, because this is already proving to be a pain in the butt, and we haven't even, like, gotten to the main side of the transformation. Is that Shen? Is that a Shen emote? You know, that is a perfect emote that encapsulates yappers as well. Okay, I'm going to have to pull this apart again, because this is not... Or you got stuck. That's also wonderful. I wanted cookie. I want a cookie, too. Actually, I'd be 100% down for a cookie. I could go for a cookie. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Cookie. I want a cookie. Fresh baked? Ooh, no, that's the question, though, isn't it? What is the preference of chat here? Fresh baked cookies, like still gooey, or do we want that cookie having been like standing for a little while and it's hardened? What cookie is preference? Might actually go make some red velvet cake. Oh my god. You can't just come into my chat, talk about baked goods, and then leave to go make said baked goods like a monster. I am not a fan of this, actually. Okay, so the completed head assembly is supposed to have it so that I can pull this forward. These panels slide in and down, I think. And then the same goes this way, in and down. And in theory, hmm. Hmm. Oh boy. Okay. Hmm. Hang on, hang on. I can salvage this. This is tech. This is tech. Okay. I think I saved it. There we go. Okay. So I don't like this because the head is forced to constantly have the eyes together, whereas most of the expression is here, and I can just, assemble that however I like, including separating the eyes, kind of like in the movie. Same way as the movie, actually. So I think I'll stick to this head and just swap out the eyes whenever, unless this head has a primary function outside of just being collapsible. Again, I don't know if I'll ever display him in the collapsed form, like, where he's a cube. Maybe I'll do it once for a photo, but I highly doubt it's going to be one of those things where it's like, I gotta do it. I gotta store him that way. It's like that's awful. I'm not gonna store my baby boy in a box. That just sounds weird. Moving in a box, maybe, because should a moving day come, I need to be prepared to move my model kits. But like storage, like for display, no, I'm not putting my boy in a box. I couldn't do that. Not to Wally. Not to Wally. He's too perfect for this world. And these rubber hoses are the devil. I wish them pain. I wish these rubber hoses and all that they're affiliated with a merry go fuck yourself. I like cookies soft. Look, nothing beats a homemade fresh cookie from the oven. Facts, though. Facts. Oh, yeah, no, that just hits different. It really does. Like, oh, you gotta let it harden and let it get that crunch so you can eat it with milk. Or you can eat it fresh off the pan while it's still hot and the chocolate chips are nice and gooey and mm, I would marry someone for sweets that are constantly baked all the time. Won't even lie about that. Then again, I basically am kind of a housewife among, well, not even a housewife. I can't say I'm a very good housewife. At least among my current roommates, when I have the inspiration and I'm not in a rut, I can cook some pretty decent food. Um, Not really 100% the best food, but I can cook some decent food. Um, Trying to think. Oh, there we go. Okay, so apparently this hose does not want to cooperate with me. Is this going to be one of those dilly-dallies where I'm going to have to, like, twist it in there to get it in there? Because if it is, I am not looking forward to that constant process. Can we put you in a Pokeball? No, but you can put me in a VPET. If you can catch me, you can store me in a VPET. Thing is, you can't really catch me. I guess it's more like you're scanning me. Like in Digimon stories, Time Stranger and Cyber Sleuth, you can't catch Digimon. You just copy the pre existing data and collect enough of it so that you can make a version of me. It won't be the exact same version of me. You'll just birth another Digimon into the world. To be frank, I would be the cutest personal delivery boy, girl, wolf for when you want a 3 a.m. fast food snack. I get the distinct impression that we're gonna be just the cutie guild. It's just gonna be me, Sparky, and Pixel representing the three horsemen of the apocalypse of creatures that stand at roughly anywhere between 3 to 4 feet tall. And we are simultaneously being tipped with actual money to go with our need for food, or we're tipped with sweets because we're easily swayed by the right kind of food. Like, I know that if I held a kebab to Pixel's face, she will do almost anything. I say almost because, honestly, I'm not going to tell her to do something she's not going to want to do. That's one. And two, there's not enough food on this earth that could make her commit heinous war crimes that I'm aware of. She can always prove me wrong. And Sparky, I don't know what it would take for you to commit heinous war crimes. I used to do food delivery on a bike, so I'm experienced. There we go. Send your cutest delivery boy. And if you can't send your cutest delivery boy, then what is the point? Anyway. I hate that my voice can go into those strange ranges. It's like 1 minute I'm talking like a normal person, completely and utterly normal. The next minute, I am a gremlin. Actually, let me cut these out and get rid of the runners because I already know what this will be for. If I want to have the clean version, and I'm never going to use it because I want my dented version. I'm going to chop away real quick at this piece. I'm sure that I will find out what this is for in due time. And now the runner can disappear. Okay. You don't need any more sweets because you're already sweet enough as it is. You're gonna make me like break down, dude. Now then, are you so for real about the music just deciding that it needs to stop? Stop that. I want you to keep playing music. I need background noise or the voices get loud. For the record, in case it is insensitive in any way, I don't mean anything by it about the voices. I am simply making a bit of fun, a simple joke. I'm not making fun of those who have the illness. I just have to put that out there. Because, yes, I know there are people out there who would be mean, and if they are mean and they are doing that, they can go to hell. But I think people here know that I'm joking and I'm not trying to mean anything in earnest. There was music. Don't you try to gaslight me right now. I swear to God. Oh. You know, I may have to just put a little video in the background and play something like that. Let's see. I hate that my YouTube is now filled with nothing but body cam videos, but that's been one of my weird fascinations as of late. Let's see. What's a good... Billiam. Hold on. Billiam... Digimon World. Let's see if I can find that video. Apparently Billiam got busy with all these other videos. Oh my God. I forgot that he did a whole thing about V-Pets back in the day. Man. Okay. Okay, let's see if I can pull the link. Copy. Yep. Copy. Paste. Okay, I'm going to put that there. Okay, it's been added.
Hey, audience.
No. Hey. Hey.
It's like somebody's...
No. Stop that. I want this to happen correctly. I want to see where it shows up. Media requests. I want to put that right there. Oh my God, it covers most of the screen. You know what? There we go. Because I feel like this is worth watching. Let me just go back one. Go forward.
Hey, audience. It's me.
It's me.
It's like somebody... I love that. Okay, but the restaurant influencer body cam videos, Sam's Pub one, and anyone else who showcases small empty restaurants and hype them up so much that when they return it's busy and the owner staff thank them and the streamer orders more food that they pay for is such a good genre. And yeah, you know what? I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that. I can get behind that. I adore how do I put it? I adore when there's a positive influence on the ecosystem of the world from streamers, because unfortunately the world is full of negatives, and I'm not going to like try to bring too much attention to the ones that bring about the negatives. However, they are the most obnoxious sort, and they bring the attention onto themselves more often than not, and always on purpose, because that's just what they want to do. That being said, oh, let me just grab that. That being said, I would never give 100% of my attention to the negative ones, but they are unfortunately the ones who overshadow the vast majority of the positive influencers that go about from day to day businesses and influence their way into increasing business. And not like the motherfuckers who have, like, oh, I got like 200 followers and they'll pay for my food. I fucking hate those people. I do. I have nothing but an unnatural hatred for them. Unfortunately, the only experience I have with Digimon video games is Digimon World Championship for the DS. I've always played a lot more of the handheld Pokemon video games. You know, fair, fair. I can't even fault you for that because I've never played a single Digimon video game until Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, then followed by Digimon World Next Order, which that introduced me to the VPET concept only because I had already been raising VPETs, so it kind of worked out for me. Um, and then the other games that came out after, I will sit there and say that the Digimon community was probably their own worst enemy, and the people outside of the community were the biggest enemies for Digimon Survive, because Digimon Survive should have done so good. Like, they really should have done so good. The game itself has a fantastic story, but because of the way it was marketed and the way that people were peddling false information, it was a visual novel. It was meant to be a visual novel. You're supposed to make choices that influence the story, and unfortunately, a good number of people just don't want to read because the game was in Japanese. There was no English dub. However, let's be 100% here. Even if there was a proper, well put together English dub of any of the Digimon Survive at all, people would dunk on it. People would hate on it. People would say, oh my gosh, so cringe. Fuck off. Every last one of them. Fuck off. But yeah, those bad influencers that don't deserve to have 6 or 7 followers. Yuck. Ah, I see what you did there. Hold on. You brought this on yourself the moment that you put those numbers onto the screen. 6, 7. All right, all right, all right, all right. Billiam, save us. Billiam.
Pokemon and said, what if it had abs? As many of you guys know, I am a big Digimon fan. What started off as a Tamagotchi spinoff that could battle each other became this really cool franchise that has remained cool over the years because it's as close to popular as it can get without entering the mainstream. Unsubscribe now because I'm all about avoiding the mainstream. But please don't. I need to eat. Admission, before I played a couple hours
Real.
of Cyber Sleuth, I
Real.
actually played a Digimon game. Ever. As a kid, Digimon games were really hard to come by. I didn't own a PlayStation until I was much older, so every single Digimon game that I could get was for a Nintendo console. And they must have had very limited printings because even when I'd be aware of a new Digimon game coming out, whenever I'd finally have money to go buy it, it would always be sold out everywhere. I would try to go on eBay or...
So that I can sort of relate to, more so in the modern sense, but I can definitely relate to that sense in regards to like availability and then just suddenly them selling out. If you were a fan of Digimon, even back then, or you had like a small tangential like interest in Digimon, you were basically screwed from the start because you were never going to get your hands on it. It was always going to be a case of you chasing the unobtainable because they would sell out or they wouldn't put enough on the shelves because, oh, well, these guys aren't going to be interested in that. It's more popular in Japan. I don't know why they bother trying to sell it here. Fuck off. Fuck off 1,000 times. You're a whore. Let me enjoy my fucking friend and happiness slop. I don't care. I do not care. Did you just clip me doing 6-7? No. No. No, now they'll know I'm cringe. Hey, Sparky. I hate to break it to you, but you are always cringe. This is why I can never have a chatbot. I know for a fact that I would be arguing with the chatbot. I do want to get a chatbot one day, though. That's another thing on the list of things that I kind of want to do for the sake of fun. Is I want to get my hands on like a chatbot, probably modeled after a baby version of Pulsemon. I think that would be pretty cool. If not a baby version of Pulsemon, I think like maybe Gamamon, because I do consider Gamamon to be my son. Yes, you are cringe, Sparky. Yes, cringe. Listen, I may be cringe, but I'm free, or at least I try to be free. I try to be free. Because if I'm not free, then what's the point? Anyway, back to Billiam.
Amazon to buy a used copy, but Digimon games rarely sell for below $60. And as a kid, just wanting to try one of these games, it wasn't really worth it. However, seeing people get excited for some of the more recent Digimon games has encouraged me to go check out this giant back catalog of games that I've never played before, including the first Digimon home console release, Digimon World. Being early on in Digimon's life as a franchise, Digimon World shared a lot in common with the original V-Pets. While the Digimon V-Pet shares many mechanics with Tamagotchi, it's unique because you can also train your Digimon's fighting ability to challenge another player's Digimon. I can't remember the last time I was excited to see one thing plug into another thing. Digimon World is a slow grind. Most of the game is raising a Digimon from its earliest stage and hoping to fulfill the right care requirements to watch it transform into cool and powerful Digimon. But sometimes you just get a eating slug. But what can we really do as parents? Aside from
what can we really do as parents?
A Digimon world, a
Gosh.
world filled with other Digimon. You, the player character, must take your checkered Vans, yellow hoodie, and Crunchyroll beanie and create a society in which all Digimon may live together in peace. So let's take a look at a game that broke my brain, because although it's really charming, it's also charming enough to mask how frustrating it is. It's Digimon World. Oh boy, I'm sure happy I have $1. I can't wait to use this $1 to pay for goods and services.
This video is 5 years old. I don't think they're going to be able to get that sponsorship. Let's see.
Yes, you should have me sending data on it, but what's really stopping them? My network to come and steal your data. I won by publications like CNET, January 1999 in Japan, and May won by publications like CNET, The Verge, Wired.
But to jump off his point about like the frustration of raising a Digimon, this is true. Now, I don't know how many Digimon fans, at least that are here in this chat right now, have ever raised a virtual pet before, whether it be Tamagotchi or something to the degree of like, you know, like you have to give them attention, you have to give them love so that they can survive. If you have, you are a brother. If you have not, you're still a brother. You're just not nearly as informed. But there is a frustration that comes with raising a virtual pet. And to make that point, I'm just going to grab onto, where are you, friend? There you are. I'm going to grab onto this. So this little brick here, this wonderful little brick, ignore the fact that it's the color version for a minute. Oh, hang on. Smudge on the screen. Always have to keep that clean. This is a premium toy. But like, the ones where you have to raise the V-Pet from the original brick that take like an LCD battery in the back, or if you're talking about the super old one, 2 little batteries, you basically had to keep an eye on this thing at all times. The original device had the screen always on, and you had to raise the little guy by fighting against each other by connecting them with these ports. It had a little connection point here and here to lock the devices together, and then they would meet in the middle with these metal prongs that connect to the circuit so that the Digimon could have their binary bout, I guess is what you would call it. I have the VPET that I got a while back, and I've left it in a coma for months. That does not count. Please tell me that you at least removed the battery so that the acid doesn't eat it alive. Because that's the one thing I hate about the batteries, is that batteries, especially on those little ones, if they're left alone long enough, they'll eventually leak battery acid and it can corrode the circuitry. Granted, that's more of a threat in the older devices and not so much in the newer ones, but I'm not sure how batteries differ from back in the day to the current day. I remember the battle digivices that were cool. The battle digivices? So when you say battle digivices, are we talking about like these digivices, like the ones from the anime that are like little pedometers that have the clickety clackities? Because those were cool too. I never owned one. Wish I did. I got 2 Davis's blue and 1 red. I think season 3 or 4. I can't remember. Yes, those. Okay, so you did have the digivices. I am so sad that I never got my hands on hold on, guys. I gotta go into Twitch real quick and apparently remove a stupid bot. I really should give some viewers like moderator privileges, because holy crap, I always deal with this problem. I handle everything by myself because I don't feel the need to, like, you know, I don't feel a personal need to I don't feel the need to do anything else besides just oh wait, when did I turn you into a mod, boss? I don't remember ever turning you into a mod. I need Seribot and blocked terms. I got a whole list for you. You know, I'll do that. I don't know, lol. That's what I mean. I don't remember ever making you a mod. I've been like self-modding all this time to like just because I didn't want to bother anybody, especially on days where I only had like 2 viewers. I never wanted to bother anybody with like a mod position. But going back to it, yeah, no, I wish I had like the season 3 devices, because they connected to the computer with a special disc that you could run so you could go on adventures and stuff. And I always thought that was cool. Seribot is great. It is an auto banned every promo link bot I've gotten. You know what? If you can, hit me up in my DMs, boss, and I can probably get that set up on my stream so I can, you know, protect against bots, because I'm so tired of bots. I am so tired.
Who remembers when File City
GG, man.
Digimon could live peacefully, but some mysterious force has separated all the Digimon in the land and wiped out their memories. You, with your Digimon, who I hope you also named Uwumon, must traverse the island to recruit Digimon to help build File City. Just like the Digimon V-Pets, Digimon have 5 stages: baby, in training, rookie, champion, and ultimate, and just like a real child, you can screw them up at any life stage. Later, Digimon Media would add Mega as a 6th and final stage, but here it's absent. All this talk about Mega and Ultimate Digimon is making me sound like a Mega Ultimate dork, so from here on out, I'm going to be referring to Digimon's evolutionary stages as their number rather than their official names. Raising Digimon is the bulk of the game. Uwumon here is my always dying, ever reincarnating child. The game runs on a
So yeah, no, raising the VPET is the exact same way. So the official denomination is baby, baby 2, child, adult, perfect, and then it stops on the original devices from back in 1997. On the newer devices, when we started getting into the mega level Digimon, they would call that the ultimate level. And you might be a bit confused, because if you grew up with, like, the way I did in the West, you would know that we know the Digimon as a baby in training, rookie, it becomes champion, then ultimate, and then mega. And this is where it gets confusing, because then it gets certain folks in the West frustrated. The reason? Because, well, you run into that one problem where, because of the fact that we have it translated differently, if you say ultimate, you're thinking stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're thinking stage 5 as ultimate if you're in the West. But for the East, where it originated, ultimate is mega and is considered stage 6. And 6 did not exist in the 90s. We didn't know what megas were until the anime was already concluding, but for the East, they had the Digimon Pendulum devices. And the pendulum devices had mega levels because that's where they were introduced. And that's when we had like new lore about the evolution of Digimon in the digital world. And that when you left File Island, you had access to Digimon that were incredibly strong because they weren't stuck on the island. In theory, the pendulum Digimon would be stronger than the Digimon that grew up on File Island, but the Digimon on File Island learned how to be strong in spite of their lower levels. So because of that, the island life, less evolution, more strength. But the continent life, like the Folder continent, that's where life was more expansive, you had more room to grow, and you could achieve strength, it just was achieved slower. So there you go. It's a weird like island and continent mentality when it comes to like the idea of evolution. Pendulum Digimon? What is this, Yu-Gi-Oh? Oh, how dare you. Actually, I don't have a problem with pendulum monsters. I loved pendulum summoning in Yu-Gi-Oh. My friends hated me because I played Dinomists for a while because, oh yeah, you gotta love machines that are themed after dinosaurs. They hit like a truck, have protection, lots of removal, but nobody really likes the idea of me having so much access to some bullshit. So there you go. No, but when we're talking about pendulum Digimon, we're talking about these cute little guys. So they come in this device, and if you listen carefully, it comes with a little knocker in there. That's the counter. It's not for step counting. It's more so for like counting your shakes. And by giving it a good shake, it would influence how hard your Digimon would hit. And you needed to know how many shakes each individual Digimon had. Because if you didn't, well, you were going to suffer because that means your hits weren't going to be nearly as strong. There's a new Dino archetype, GMX. It's funny you mention. I made sure to buy like 3 copies of each of the GMX cards that had just been released from the last set because in my heart of hearts, I wanted to believe that this was going to be a case of the same thing that happened with Elemental Heroes, and that they're going to be a cool archetype. We're going to see some cool support, and it's going to be super strong if it put together correctly. And based on the new support that just showed up in the new box set, I was right. GMX has potential, very strong potential. I'm still not a fan of losing all those life points just to get a strong fusion monster out, but the new fusion monsters that they have right now gives me hope. It gives me a lot of hope that it's going to be really strong and that I can build a deck around it. I already got most of the components that I need to make a strong dinosaur deck. I forgot to get my hands on fucking Jirok Meteor. I gotta fix that because I need Jirok Meteor if I want to run a version of the deck that uses the Jirok engine. But I love the idea that my base original dinosaurs of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, so good. Dinosaurs, goated. The sleeper hit. The king of fuck around and find out. That's a nice board of monsters you got there. I see you tried to shut me down with your Kashtira. It would be a damn shame if I were to come in with Ultimate Conductor Tyranno and just flip your shit face down defense position and attack every single one of them one at a time until they all died. Oh, what's that? You're trying to destroy me with some monster effects? Miscellaneousaurus, protect from everything. Go fuck yourself. Oh, well, my monster can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. Well, motherfucker, I guess you didn't read Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. I'm technically not destroying your monster. I'm sending it directly to the graveyard without destroying. Get fucked, you idiot. I love it. I love it so much. I love it. It's so good. I would love to autistically muse about Yu-Gi-Oh! With you at some point. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Ugh.
A 24-hour clock that moves at an hour per real-life minute. But certain actions like sleeping and training take up more.
I forgot about that. So the game... Just like with regular actual Digimon, you have to consider the time. You have to be aware of the passage of time. And because, as he said, real life minutes are measured for an hour in the digital world, this is supposed to be like in relation to the whole time dilation effect that occurs, in the sense of like, oh yeah, the Digimon in their time space work with what is it? There's an accelerated time. In our world, our subjective time means that we're moving, for us it's normal. You know, every minute is 24 is every minute 60 of them becomes an hour, 24 hours is a day, that kind of thing. And if you were in the digital world, you would think that time is moving more or less the exact same way. The problem is that for every day that's passing by in the digital world, not a whole lot of time has actually passed in the real world. That's why in the Digimon Adventure anime, they made it a whole plot point that even though they were gone for weeks, dare we even say months, the reality was they barely left summer camp. So it was deeply confusing to me as a kid, and now that I'm an adult, I appreciate the sheer genius and ambition that kind of came with it. It was so cool. It was so cool. I could make you laugh or cry with my main deck. Sparks FTK. Christia Pass? What's a Christia Pass? Christi. Oh, wait. Are you saying Kashtira? Or am I thinking of something else? Actually, back to Billiam. What am I doing?
More time in game. Like falling asleep takes seconds in real life, but hours in the game. Each Digimon's lifespan is only a couple of days, but it gets increased as they transform to higher stages. When they die, they reincarnate into another egg, it hatches, and you start the process all over again. Digimon don't evolve linearly like that Digimon ripoff that came out a year and a half before Digimon. Instead, Digimon evolution is like a branching and reconnecting stream, just like real evolution. Get out of here, outdated linear model of evolution. I just learned about this on PBS Eons. What Digimon your Digimon will digivolve into depends on how you raise it. Including the 4 base Digimon, the game's evolution chart has 65 mons to raise in total. Once the Digimon reaches the end of their life, they will digi-die unless they meet specific criteria for evolution, and every Digimon in the game has its own unique criteria, even Big Brain Mon here. Let's talk stats. Evolution criteria involves these statistics, but don't worry about outliers, standard deviation, or statistical significance. The only thing I find significant is Angelomon, occasionally Zudomon, and neither of them are in this game. A Digimon's stats are divided into 2 broader categories. First is health, which measures the Digimon's age, weight, happiness, discipline, and virus meter, and the other is battle stats, which measure hit points, mana, offense, defense, speed, and brains. Health stats are affected by how you take care of your Digimon. The Digimon needs to sleep, eat, have its weight managed, and be treated for wounds and sickness. If you ignore these needs, you'll make a care mistake, which can affect your evolutionary potential. Some evolutions, like Greymon, can only have 1 care mistake, and some, like Mamemon, need at least 15 care mistakes. I hate intentionally making care mistakes. This game works. I have an emotional connection to the little Digimon on the screen, and I hate ignoring its needs, and I hate scolding it when I have to scold it. Why do you make me do this, game? It's cruel. Different kinds of food sustain your Digimon for different periods of time, but may affect their weight. Meat makes Digimon gain weight, while mushrooms can help them lose weight. Most evolution criteria requires that you keep your Digimon within a certain 10-pound window. Happiness affects a Digimon's life expectancy, and discipline affects how well they'll listen to you. Scolding or praising increases one stat while inversely lowering the other, unless the Digimon won't eat whatever item you're trying to give it. Then, scolding raises both. The best way to get these stats up is to force feed your Digimon medicine until it doesn't want it anymore. You scold and both happiness and discipline go up. Medicine that'll make you disciplined. Am I giving my Digimon Ritalin? The virus meter is raised.
Yes, you are giving your Digimon Ritalin. Don't give your Digimon Ritalin, please.
Okay, all over the map. The only way to clean up the poop is to...
We're going to pause there. Okay. Or FTKU with Sparks Loop. I'm curious now. Archlord Christia, no special summons for you. Ooh, I like locks. Locks in a game are really fun because they're really difficult to work around. That's why I hated playing against Kashtira, but my dinosaurs did persevere. It was just a matter of figuring out when in the combo you could interrupt them at. And figuring out that double evolution pill was kind of your best friend. Oh man, I'm running so many hand traps and not enough dinosaurs. That's okay. I'm going to stop them from doing their shit. The graveyard is now full of non-dinosaurs. Let me summon my normal dinosaurs. Oh, damn, you destroyed my normal dinosaurs. It's a good thing I have double evolution pill to banish one non-dinosaur and a dinosaur, and bam, I can bring out my boss monster. All you did was speed up the process. It's almost like nothing fucking matters. I would love for the Yu-Gi-Oh rules to change to allow Dark Magician and Blue Eyes decks to be viable in the tournament. Space again, along with various classic archetypes. See, and that's the problem. They can't, because they want to make money. And the best way for them to make money is to just continue to provide support. And that's the best that they can do. Like Red Eyes Black Dragon, I love Red Eyes Black Dragon. Red Eyes Black Dragon, goated archetype to me, and yet for whatever reason they give they give the lion's share of strong support to Blue Eyes White Dragon, and sometimes to the Magicians. Magicians have become very strong recently, and as a result, Red Eyes Black Dragon is kind of left to the wayside, so you can't make it work. They tried to do something with Flamed Swordsman that was really cool, and I appreciated what they did there, and that was dope. That was dope to see that archetype out of nowhere got some mad support and some good strength out of it too that works well with dragons. Buster Blader? Buster Blader is a bit difficult to understand. That one, they tried really hard to make it do something, but without the right type of dragon support, it falls completely flat. What's another good archetype, actually, now that I think about it? I think I covered most of the basic archetypes. Harpies were so strong for a time because they had the ability to wipe out the back row. Now, in the current Yu-Gi-Oh format, you can't afford to have a back row because having a back row is a waste of time. That's why hand traps exist. And that's why they try to have disrupts or monsters that provide their own negates while they're on the field. Because if you don't have that, you're screwed. But that being said, there's nothing inherently wrong with running a deck that does run some back row support. If you know what you're doing, you can even bait your opponent into messing with it so that you can then counter them and ruin their whole strategy. It's a niche type of thing to do, but it is doable 100%. It just takes time. Everything, just like everything in life, it just takes time. It takes some understanding to set it up. Hell, I watch a YouTube channel every now and again that just has this one guy. I think they call themselves the Ultimate Archfiend. I'd have to double check their YouTube handle, but they make these budget like anti-meta decks for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duels. And it is so cool to see because it's like, damn, these decks use nothing but commons, rares, hardly any URs or SRs. Like, how can these decks be viable to the ecosystem? They just work. That is the only way that I can describe it. They just work. They make it work. Like, they make it happen in such a way that you're left to wonder, how the fuck did this happen? I blinked and suddenly I was taxed into oblivion by Despias. Like, who the fuck invited Despia to the party and why are they here? Who allowed this? Like, I love that. I love it because rogue decks are a necessity to the ecosystem. I am so unbelievably tired of waking up and finding that we keep on just slacking off and having to put up with some heinous nonsense online. We don't have to put up with the heinous nonsense. You don't have to put up with a meta deck. If you can build a cheap deck that ruins the opponent's fun, do it. Why? Because normally I would say don't ruin someone else's fun. Don't try to cripple somebody and then beat them while they're crippled. But the problem is that the current format of the decks that exist in today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Cripple you. And that's all that they do. If it weren't for the fact that that's all that they do, I would be 100% in the camp of play what you want. But sometimes you have to counter cripple them. Sometimes you have to hit them with a counter cripple, like maybe you stop them from using spells and trap cards, if that's their whole strategy. Maybe you got to stop them from activating monster effects. Stun decks are 100% viable in the ecosystem when you have to deal with people whose sole purpose is to make sure that you don't get a turn. Like in my case, fighting against Goki. He is an elemental hero player who drives me absolutely insane. And every time I see him draw into his heroes, I have a bad time. And the sad part is he's playing a nerfed version of the deck. Like, Peachy has made it a point to tell me, that the deck could be better if he streamlined it. He refuses to because he just wants to play the style that he wants to play. He likes his versatility and the ability to search. And you know what? Valid. Play however you want. A 60-card deck of elemental heroes of different sorts so that you have an answer to any situation. I love a good toolbox. Sometimes having a toolbox is amazing and is a good way to answer to any situation in a versatile manner. However, I am the one card that loses me, I think, is Cosmo Neos. And that's because if you go into a long enough combo where no one interrupts you, where no one stops you, he brings out the monster, and guess what? The monster stops you from playing. You cannot activate card effects ever while during the turn that it was summoned until the end of the next turn. And it's like, who hurt you and why? And it's because of bullshit cards like that I say I have no qualms with someone playing a stun deck. Play all the stun that you want. Stop the opponent from getting to do anything, because guess what? They were going to do the same thing to you anyway. 'Twas never a matter of if. It was only a matter of when. So anyway.
To raise either a Numamon or a Sukamon who will, well, yeah. Taking the more humanoid Digimon to a bathroom is just so odd. It's just like the body of a full-grown adult needing to be taken to the bathroom and just going right in front of you. Next are battle stats, which affect how your Digimon performs in battle, but once again, they're also tied to evolution criteria, so you can't just max out offense and speed and kick everyone's ass unless you're raising a Leomon. The man himself. He's dead. Battle stats are raised by either battling...
Leomon's always dead. It's just how it is.
Battling takes more real lifetime, but less in-game time, where training stations can increase specific stats instantaneously, but each training session takes up an in-game hour. Training also doesn't earn you money like battling does and makes your Digimon hungrier faster. I found myself strapped for cash a lot because I prefer training to battling, and you can't just mindlessly press X over and over again to train, because that's a really easy way to make care mistakes. Training is just... so much of the game is training. Trying to evolve a Digimon without explicit guidance sounds like a nightmare. These stat requirements are so specific, I can't imagine how anyone would try to complete the chart without a guide, which, oh boy, is why I'm glad I bought the official strategy guide. But like most self-help parenting books, it does nothing. It's littered with wrong information about the game. Imagine spending hours as a kid trying to get Metal Greymon only to get a Numamon, all because the official strategy guide lies to you. I mean, I don't blame the author. I can't imagine having to learn about a game this in-depth to be able to write the official strategy guide on it. That sounds like a nightmare, especially for a game like this. Not to mention, the maps are completely unlabeled. Oh, well, not completely. They do have A, B, and C letter points marked, but without any guide to what events those correspond to. Not to mention, they're just incomplete. It's not completely useless, though. Recruiting Digimon can kind of seem like a fool's errand without direction, and the guide does provide a good checklist. But despite not wanting to navigate the world without some direction, I love the world in Digimon World. Albeit I got a lot of direction. It's the perfect size for this kind of game. It's big, but still small enough to be super memorable. Of course, when there's a big old fella like this hanging around, you're bound to remember it. From Toy Town, Misty Trees, and the Gear Savannah, and some of the music is just... I can't get enough of it. Especially the two main battle themes and the Gear Savannah theme. I love it. It's the kind of game that's designed to be played and discovered for an obnoxious period of time. The kind of free time you only really ever had as a kid. If I were a kid playing this, I'd be drawing maps, creating evolution charts, and checklists of Digimon I have already recruited, but I'm an adult, so YouTube video walkthroughs it is. Having not played a lot of Digimon games, I always wondered why there were so many Digimon that were just recolors of others, but I guess my answer is here. They needed a variety of different enemies, but didn't want to design new Digimon. It's not Agumon, it's Ice Agumon. It's not Agumon, it's Psychmon. It's not Betamon, it's my whole heart. Betamon really good. The goal of the game is to build...
Betamon is a good
city.
Digimon, though.
By traveling around the island to recruit other Digimon who all join the city to expand its infrastructure. Some are really easy to recruit, like the Digimon inside the forest surrounding File City. You just beat them in a fight and they come join. But others are only available at certain times of day, like Seadramon, who you have to catch fishing, have a rare spawn rate like Piximon, who has a 3% chance of showing up in this exact location, or have to be rescued like Shellmon. Battling in Digimon World can either be incredibly easy or impossible, but it's always like really obnoxious. Unlike a traditional RPG, you don't control your Digimon's actions. Rather, you give it commands and it occasionally listens. As your Digimon gets smarter, it learns new moves and you get new commands, but no matter what you give me, it's like not getting better. So often the Digimon just stands there, and no matter how many times you hit attack or give a specific attack command, it just sits. Like, watch this, my Leomon can easily one-hit KO this red Vegemon.
But that's not happening.
But it just doesn't matter because most of the time Leomon just stands there, and when it's not Leomon's decision to just stand.
Yeah, that's always the downside. So the thing about Digimon World is that it is technically a cheerleading simulator. I think that's the best way that you can describe it without being like super weird about it, is that it is basically a cheerleading simulation. Not in a bad way, mind you. It is actually really cool, and I appreciate that it exists, that a game like this can exist the way that it does. It's just, I understand that for a lot of folks, that's not the type of game that they would want to play, and I wholeheartedly understand that that is something that they wouldn't want to do. That, oh yeah, the commands that you give, sometimes they'll do it, sometimes they won't. It really just depends on how you raise them. And if you want a more traditional RPG style of it'll do what you ask because you gave it the command, play Digimon Storytime Stranger or Cyber Sleuth. Those are traditional RPGs with a turn system, so that works. My IRL custom Blue Eyes deck is full of very rare versions, including the new secret rare Kaibaman the Legend and various ultra rare and secret rare Blue Eyes support cards. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. I don't know why I'm in a silly mood today. I'm in a silly mood every day when you think about it. My gosh. Okay, that's pretty cool. I just realized what these instructions are asking of me, and I don't know if I have the strength to do it. Oh, I have to choose? Why would it do that? I don't understand that. Hold on. Gotta stick this hand here for a moment. Aha! I win. Look at that. Wally has hands. Well, he's got an arm. Okay. Where would this go anyway? Because I don't see where it connects. That's actually super annoying. Where do you... Oh. Did they have me put this guy in box mode? I'm angry now. I have no place to put this. I have no place to put that at all. Back to Billiam.
There, they get a status affliction, and it just slows everything down. I find progress in this game to be really satisfying. Watching File City get built up with new infrastructure, filling out the evolution chart, and watching a Digimon you raised with your blood transform is really satisfying. However, that high reward comes with one of the most stressful examples of a game with high consequences. Your Digimon's lifespan is this ticking clock, and utilizing what time you have with the Digimon well can be a really stressful decision-making process. You can probably beat the game without ever raising a Digimon to Ultimate, the 5th stage, but it's fun to do. But you'll be spending most of that Digimon's lifespan training, so while you get this stronger, cooler Digimon, it's not like you get to use it to knock off a bunch of boss battles. You realistically only get a few tasks with each highly trained Digimon, really. And pro gamers who have been playing this game for over 20 years, if your pro gamer skills allow you to pro gamer through the game with only one Digimon, then congratulations, you're a pro gamer. That was not my experience. I found myself getting really stressed when a Digimon was close to death, like really, really stressed. Is there even a point of trying to get something done? Traversing this world eventually becomes such a hassle, and while there is fast travel,
Oh,
it's
wait, I
really
think I see
easy
it.
one-way fast travel from File City to any location. A lot of the game is just walking back to File City because it's the only place you can heal without items or before your Digimon needs to sleep. And it's the only place to buy a variety of
Okay, I
different
think I
items for
see
a
it.
decent
I
price.
think.
And if your Digimon loses 3 battles, it dies. So entering any fight feels like life or death because you can lose hours and hours of training if you are beaten. Birdramon here took about 3 Digimon to beat. And it's not like I finally just trained a Digimon that could handle Birdramon. Literally, every piece of advice I see on this game tells you to just stock up on healing items.
Nope.
The only way to get through a boss
I'm not gonna
is to
force
keep
that. I'm not
throwing
gonna
heal
force that.
items at your Digimon just constantly. I mean, why would I do it any other way? I don't want to risk losing a Digimon I spent hours and hours training. I'm only willing to risk a Digimon I spent a few hours training. A hard boss in Digimon World isn't hard because you have to increase your skill level. It's hard because it takes a long time to train a Digimon that strong or to grind enough battles to be able to afford premium healing items. That's not difficulty in a skill set sense, that's difficulty because it tests your patience. But then again, I don't really mind the grinding for the training than the raising evolution process. I guess I find that to be more rewarding. Turns out my personal taste isn't always consistent. The Ogre Dungeon. I kept not buying enough heal items to make it to the end of the Digimon, so I would have to walk back to File City. And I lost a few Digimon because traversing the world while avoiding battles can be really hard. Well, when you have the whole screen zoomed out, it's easy, but too much of the game is all the way zoomed in. I can't see anything. As the city grows, your ability to raise Digimon becomes more and more efficient. You can recruit Kabuterimon and Kuwagamon from Beetle Land, and they'll upgrade the gym equipment to be more effective. Then you can also
Which you
recruit
can actually do in
to
Digimon
upgrade
World
the meat
Next
farm
Order
to be
as
able to
well.
grow fatter cuts of meat. The final veg you recruit, Vegemon, also sells food that increases training. Vegemon over here pushing supplements. Probably has CEO in his Facebook bio. As you practice raising Digimon, the intense number of criteria for certain evolutions start to feel less and less intense. I finally
It's
feel
true.
like I got the hang of this game. You start to pick up on ways to shorten the process, like saving stat raising chips for certain Digimon, strategizing training requirements to maximize primary and secondary effects, and being comfortable with making a few care mistakes early on because care mistakes don't transfer from evolution to evolution. And the first few stages are really easy to evolve to. It's like Bodemon. I know you've just been born and you've come into this world scared and hungry, but you must experience the crushing weight of this waterfall right now, because this world isn't fair, and the sooner you learn that lesson, the sooner I can get Monochromon. I'm just a parent, living vicariously through my child. I could have been a Monochromon. I love filling out the evolution chart. It makes the part of my brain that gets happy from filling out
I can't-
charts happy.
I can't
Also,
get over that. It's
utilizing
so
different
funny.
Digimon in this game has made me appreciate the non-partner Digimon from Digimon. For years, my favorites have really only been the main partners from the anime, but being partnered with Monochromon, Seadramon, Mamemon, Betamon, my best pal Betamon here, it makes my taste in Digimon expand a little bit more and appreciate some of these creature designs that I've never really given a passing glance to. Oh, you mean you don't like Monochromon? Can't say I don't blame you. You don't come into this world appreciating a T-Rex head with a little tail, a horn, and 4 stubby legs. Monochromon is an acquired taste. Wow. Gabumon here needed a 95 discipline to evolve to Garurumon. So I fed him some happiness mushrooms, which automatically raises happiness, so I can afford to scold him a few times to get that 95 discipline. After just under an hour, I have Garurumon. Check. Now let's try to get Mega Seadramon. I do my best to raise Garurumon for an hour straight while making
This head
no
is a
mistakes
different
because you're
size.
barely allowed to have any for this evolution. And then, after reaching all
Just
the
gonna put him
qualified
like that
stats,
for now, and
Mega
we'll figure out what to
Seadramon,
do
I
with the
spent
arms
few
in due
days just
time.
keeping Garurumon at the right weight. Finally, the time has come for evolution, and
He died.
Garurumon died?
Yeah, that's a real thing that can happen.
It was gone. playing the game for a few weeks after that. I questioned YouTube as a profession. I read a book. I lived a slightly better life. Got back into a regular exercise routine, made a schedule. I was being productive. I started working on a different video, but that guy just kept looking at me in the face. I had to go back. No good parent abandons their children. I figured I didn't have enough techs to get Mega Seedramon, but I find the tech
So that is the other thing. Like, in the video game, it's a bit more frustrating because, you know, you're putting hours into it and you're trying to, you know, get the desired evolution that you're looking for. But when you're raising the actual VPET, like my actual physical ones that I have here, those can be just as frustrating for probably the wrong set of reasons. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that you will be forced to make decisions about how you raise your Digimon so that you can make certain evolutionary requirements. And if you don't meet those evolutionary requirements, they're just stuck there. And you're wondering, you should have evolved by now. Why haven't you evolved yet? Did I miss something? And it turns out you did. And then they live for about 48 more hours, give or take, and then they just start to die. You can try to keep it alive as long as you can, but ill-advised. Just ill-advised. It's a lot of frustration when you have to be a parent to some Digimon like that. It is what it is. It's part of the process. Sometimes the process is easy. Most of the time the process is not easy. And all you can just sit there and wonder is, did I do it right? And the answer more often than not is yes, you did do it right. So yeah. It's tough being a Digimon parent. But that's one of the cool things about it. You know, unlike other pets and stuff like that, if you screwed up with your Digimon, yes, they will die. All Digimon eventually die, but our code is recycled. You will be able to raise them again. Sometimes you can correct those mistakes that you made and get something as a better result. Most of the time, not so much.
Criteria to be very inconsistent. Like, even though I do not have 35 technical moves discovered, I got Leomon, who also needs 35, but for some reason Mega Seedramon didn't work. So I guess it's just inconsistent. I have no idea. I cannot find a clear answer anywhere. So no matter how much I feel like I got the hang of it, there's always some unknown variable. I guess parenting doesn't have set guidelines. There's always something new to learn. But this is a game. Digimon World was fun. I enjoyed playing it quite a bit, and I may even do some post-game stuff on stream eventually when I feel like streaming. That doesn't mean soon. It's a really charming game, but it's also exhausting. Putting an effort to raise a Digimon over and over again and then watching it die over and over again is exhausting. And although it can be rewarding, it's the kind of game that would make me go insane if I didn't take ample amounts of stress breaks. So I'm gonna put Digimon World down for a moment and try to better myself. For Betamon. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you've played Digimon games before, please comment down below which ones you remember fondly or which ones you would like me to look at in the future. Other than that, if this is your first video of mine, consider subscribing.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Well, it also depends on the Digimon you're aiming for, too.
And it is totally my intention for the rest of the summer to get back in a normal posting routine. I have a...
We're just going to stop right there. I will hydrate in just a moment. I now have to dig through my carpet because apparently I might have missed a part here and I don't know where it went. Because I see the letters L, L2, J, K2, and the 3 different Ks over there, but I seem to be missing the letter O. And I have a feeling I threw it out, or not O, P rather, and I have a feeling I threw it out before it was time. So give me a minute while I disappear into the carpet. I will return! Is there a letter O down here? Wait a minute. Wait, hang on. Not letter O, letter P. Is there a letter P? P. That's D, that's B, that's I. N, W. Huh. I have to be blind. It's telling me there's a letter P. I know I've cut from a letter P before, but for some reason I can't find it. And I would hate to realize that maybe I missed a component somewhere. It's also disturbingly hot in my room, and I'm starting to feel the heat, which might be adding to a layer of delirium on my part. So I found it. I found the letter P. It was hiding under the letter J, and I'm going to turn on my fan now. Hold on. Whew. There we go. The delirium. The delirium from heat exhaustion. It's a wonderful thing. It's truly wonderful. Beautiful, even. Whew. There we go. That is quite the face to pause on, Billiam. Also got to go to work now. Have a good rest of the stream. Thanks, boss. I'll try to do your job well, and I'm going to take a sip of my drink. Speaking of Digimon games, with standard RPG mechanics, there are the DS games. You know, I have never touched the DS games. I had a Nintendo DS, I've had a Nintendo 3DS, but I've never touched any of the Digimon games. And I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that for Digimon, we just didn't get enough coming into the United States, or at least not enough in stock. Now people are jumping on it whenever they can and selling them at inflated prices. Just trying to get an old Digivice from back in the day will set you back a few hundred bones. And honestly, not even worth it. I'm not going to spend that much money on that. Because Lord knows Bandai is already taking that much money from me every time they do a premium Bandai thing, but I am not getting into that right now. We have other things to talk about, I think. Okay. But I do want to try some of those games. I've been told that they're pretty cool. I have been told that they are pretty darn decent. At least if you know what you're doing. Because I think Jaden Animations covered Digimon once, and I felt kind of insulted because the way they discussed it was implying that, yet again, Digimon was a Pokemon knockoff. And it's like, I'm so tired of this misinformation constantly permeating through the ecosystem. I am so tired of it. It feels like they're doing it to rage bait because they know that it'll get engagement from Digimon fans who are especially passionate about it. But it's so hard to tell if it is rage bait or if they are genuinely just that dumb or just genuinely not understanding of how the timeline fucking works. But yes, Jaden was one of those people who kept on saying that Pokemon is just or rather Digimon is just a Pokemon ripoff. And, you know, it's a bit annoying because it's like, it's not. It's not, though. It really is not. And so they decided to try and play like a Digimon DS game. I can't remember which one it was, but I know that it was one of the ones that, depending on who you asked, it was either really fun or really bad. I can't remember the title. If I could remember the title, I would be able to tell you with ease, but I think it was like, Digimon is a Monster Rancher knockoff. I guess if you could say that, it would be Digimon World is a Monster Rancher knockoff, maybe? Except with Monster Rancher, just like with Pokemon, you were there to collect them, which is cool as a story and mechanic, but you didn't collect Digimon. You partnered with them. Yes, you collect them now in the current RPGs that we have in existence, which is still cool. You can collect them. But the idea behind the Digimon that has always been the forefront of like how they are in relation to us as players and tamers is that Digimon are meant to be your partners. They're meant to be there for you through the thickest and through the thinnest, through the best of times and the worst of times. Sometimes the Digimon is a mirror reflection of you, or is an aspect of you that you have to improve upon, or an aspect of you that you are meant to see and like improve upon yourself. to strive for. And I've always appreciated that kind of mentality because in the Pokemon franchise, they've reset the character of Ash over and over and over again so that he can learn basically the same lessons that he learned in previous seasons and move forward. Or at least that's my personal opinion, because that's how he was for, I want to say, the first few seasons. He got better as a character as the later seasons went on, and people can attest to that because God saying goodbye to Ash was certainly a wild decision, but not unwarranted. It also gave people a break from basically watching the same character we've watched since we were a kid. That was kind of cool. It was a nice send-off. I won't even deny I sometimes miss Ash. I do, because it's like, man, he was so cool. How old is this video? I want to say it's a couple of years old. Actually, you know what? Assuming Jaden doesn't come after me, I mean, Billiam, I have a feeling, won't come after me, but let's see if I can find the Jaden Animations video. Hang on. Jaden Animations Digimon. Oh, God, it's 3 years old. Oh, you know what? May God have mercy on our soul if we do this. Because this will be a true test, at least for me, in terms of patience. Here we fucking go.
I know absolutely nothing about Digimon. Pokemon is my entire life, so why would I need to branch out? Well, I happen to be a very open-minded person, and the only way to prove that is to play a Digimon game for the first time. I wanted to see if, putting all my bias aside, I could bridge the gap between the two, and they could live together in harmony in my tiny little brain hobby drawer. So thus began my journey on finding the perfect Digimon game to start out with. At first, I didn't think that would be a difficult feat. Every community kinda has the general agreed consensus on what media is best to consume as a newcomer, right? All it takes is a quick Google search, I play with the internet, people tell me, and now I'm a Digimoner. Well, apparently not here. I've come to realize that it's a bit complicated for them. Everywhere I looked, there were threads upon threads of people trying to agree on what Digimon game is even good in the first place. Pretty much every comment I read said something along the lines of, this game is pretty good, yeah, except for these things, or this game is great, if you can look past these extremely annoying mechanics. Every time I thought I had a lead on a game, I would look further into it and realize a lot of people actually had a lot of complaining to do. And it wasn't even angry complaining, it seemed like I've walked in on a fandom that has just been hurt over and over, and they're really trying to hang on to something and believe in the good of the franchise, but they've just been put through a lot. You know, kind of like the Sonic fandom. I've never had to do so much research just to find a single game in a franchise that people can just all agree is good. People were talking about how they like Digimon World, but apparently it's like a tedious and frustrating Tamagotchi game where you just start over if they die. Digimon World 2 is apparently a dungeon crawler, but extremely grindy and complicated, and I read a lot of people complaining about it just being bland. People said Digimon World 3 is a typical RPG, but the battles get tiring and annoying, lots of backtracking and never feeling like you get anywhere. Digimon World 4, Digimon World Championship, the list goes on and on. Con after con. I spent multiple research sessions searching, even opted for a last-ditch effort by asking Twitter. Everyone was saying different things. No one seemed to be able to agree that there was just one game that was overall good and easy to start with. And Digimon fandom, if there truly is a good game out there, you guys need to start pitching the franchise better. You made this difficult. I will say...
I can't even deny that. So going off of what she was saying about like the Digimon fandom, having like like they're hurt. They've been hurt too many times and they're just trying to cling on to something. Truthful. That is a truthful statement there, because Bandai has hurt the Digimon fandom so badly over and over and over again, because it's a weird mix. You have like a strong and dedicated fandom that has existed across the world. Do you have any idea how wild it is that just like with Dragon Ball, Spanish and Portuguese, that area of the world carries the fandom literally on their backs. Whether it be Dragon Ball or Digimon, they carry the fandom on their backs, and they are so cool for that. I always appreciate that simple fact. And yeah, no, I have fallen in love with that. The more I know about that, the better life gets. But the thing is, because we have been hurt by Bandai, who constantly gives us something good only to then take it away, the few things that we have left, because we now have to have the obligation to preserve it. Dragon Ball Z? How about Dragon Balls across your... Never mind. Dragon Ball Z? How about Dragon D's balls across your face? I would like that. Anyway, who said that? There's a weird Sparky out there. I don't know what they're on about. This is just my life now. This is gonna let the little voice in the back of my head talk for a little bit. This is my life now. This is where I'm at. Sometimes you wake up and you're like, yeah, life is great, life is grand, and then you realize it's kind of not, and you're just kind of desperately clinging on to things, desperately clinging on to them. Like clinging on to Anjuamon every time you see her when she walks by, and hoping and praying that she will spare you because you're just a small little guy, even though deep down you're just as bad as Mineta from fucking My Hero Academia. Anyway. Anyway. Yeah, no, we're just constantly, clinging on to what we can because what we have isn't a whole lot. A good example of that, we used to have like a cool character gacha collector game called Digimon Rearise on like any mobile phone actually, and it was so much fun. I liked it. I had just been introduced to it. I want to say towards the end of its life, and I thought it was awesome. Too bad that like a month later it died, and I was like, how do I just get introduced to something and then it just dies immediately after? Like, I don't understand that. And that's because it's just how Bandai's business model works, which is why even though I am hopeful for Digimon Elysian, if you've never heard of that, that's going to be the new like way to play the Digimon card game. If it comes out, you best better believe I will probably be playing the shit out of it. I will play the shit out of it. We will probably do it live and have a good time together and work to unlocking cards so we can build some cool decks. I will build an Impmon deck that goes into Heavy Metal Dramon and call it Imp Biscuit. I will build a Legend Arm deck. I will build a Pulsemon deck based on the Seeker's web novel. I will do all kinds of stuff for that, and that'll be so much fun. It'll be so much fun. But would you like some pizza? You know what? I would definitely like some pizza. I get the distinct impression you're setting me up, Sparky, for something. And I know you're playing me, but I'm going to go for it. Cool. You can have a piece of these nuts. Ah, there it is. I knew it. I knew the setup was there. The setup was right there. All along. All along. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. So anyway, back to Jaden, who's going to be telling us all about her journey.
It seemed like the majority of people enjoyed Digimon Cyber Sleuth, but the thing is, that's not really the type of game I wanted to play for the channel. It looks like it's got more of a Persona 5 vibe that focuses more on the story and characters and stuff. That's just what I've read, I don't know. Either way, it wasn't the fit for what I'm looking for. I'm sure I would love it as a casual playthrough, but it just didn't hit my content checklist. All this research led me to
You're a
the game I
freak!
decided to settle on. Digimon World Dawn. It didn't seem
That's the
perfect. I saw complaints with it, but I thought, it seemed like the same amount of complaints other Digimon games were getting, and there were enough people talking positively about it. I figured I could look past the criticisms, maybe even if I was aware of them beforehand, they wouldn't bother me too much. And plus, I thought it looked nice. I like the pixel art, and I'm a sucker for good pixel art. So after all that, all the research, knowing the flaws beforehand, having a positive mental attitude, I settled on a good enough Digimon game, right? Something at least playable, right? As much as I want to say yes, this was one of, if not the most miserable video game experiences I've ever forced myself to go through. And that isn't even as a biased Pokemon player, that's as an enjoyer of fun. I was aware of Digimon World Dawn's criticisms, I knew what I was getting myself into, yet despite all the warnings, all the positive outlooks, all of the manifesting to be able to frolic hand in hand with both the Digimon and Pokemon franchises together in a beautiful field of 1,000 sunflowers, it was just awful. It started out lighthearted. I tried to put my name in and realized they only allow 5 characters for the main character's name. So I'm Jaden. Before any gameplay, I'm given 4 different packs of 3 Digimon. The Balance Pack, Attack Pack, Speed Pack, and the Japanese Pack. And honestly, I was shocked to see how huge and powerful they all looked. Look at these big men! Pokemon starters don't look like this. This is awesome! I chose the Attack Pack because the big worm guy was my favorite, and then the game forces me to nickname all my Digimon. It's not an option, and if I try to name them their original Digimon names, I can't, because they don't give me enough characters. Again, out of everything I read about this game, this is hilariously not mentioned in anyone's criticism list. I don't know if it's a Digimon thing, or I don't know. So here I, Jaden, am with my Charmon, Tony Tiger, and Big Worm. I'm not even given a
Big
chance
Worm.
to breathe before I'm thrown into this Digimon gang tournament, having to fight for my Digimon and friends' lives and glory in an environment I'm not even sure how to comprehend. Like, first of all, where are we? This sure doesn't look like the States. Or Japan, I think. Also, what is a Digimon? I win by figuring it out, kind of, not really. Still don't know what's going on, and then win a few more times before the tournament is over, and our team or gang or something, Light Fang, is the winner. Yay, Jaden! You won the tournament for us! What's going on? Oh my god, what the is that? In a complete twist in story direction, a genuinely terrifying virus of death spawns and starts turning all the Digimon into Digi-Eggs, including mine. I checked my guys, and Charmon is the same. Tony Tiger is a bit smaller, but Big Worm is a dinosaur now. He's not a big worm anymore. Now his cleverly tailored nickname doesn't make any sense. How was I supposed to know I was getting fully grown Digi-Guys, and they were gonna turn them back to small Digi-Guys again?
Yeah. I can't even be upset about that. I've never played that game, but based on the little bit of research I did after the video, yeah, the story gets a bit wild, but I'm going to also chalk that to reading comprehension, where if you don't read and immediately get yourself into the game's story, you often get yourself lost. And the reason I say that is because we have it similarly to Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, where as long as you pay attention, you get the general idea that you are going to become a detective only because you're technically in a medical induced coma because your data was stolen by a bunch of evil Digimon and creatures known as Eaters. So yeah, it's wild, but as long as you read, you can figure it out. It's not a difficult thing to do. It's not a difficult ask. And yet it is difficult to ask people to read. Look at the success of Digimon Survive. I'm so tired of people just choosing not to read. Okay.
And Big
What did you
Worm
miss?
starts off as a lizard. That's like the
You missed us talking about Digimon stuff, nerding out with Billiam about Digimon stuff, and occasional bouts of Yu-Gi-Oh talk, because God, we love Yu-Gi-Oh in this house, and it's good to have a video playing where I can take a break from talking while we discuss some of the discourse going on in the videos of people and their experience with Digimon. Like Billiam, who had his experience with Digimon World, which may or may not end up being on my list of games for us to play on stream, which that'll be cool, having a Digimon raise a bunch of Digimon. I'll even name a boy Sparky. That'll be fun. And now Jaden Animation got to try Digimon, and we're gonna be oh boy, I don't know how to feel about that.
opposite of how evolution works. I knew I didn't know anything about Digimon, But
Wally.
after the
Yep,
past
we're
5
building
minutes,
Wally.
I've realized I am completely out of my element. I go up and fight the horrific demon virus that I'm IRL scared of, and despite still not knowing what the hell I'm doing, I end up winning, even with my little
Hi,
Digimons.
Flutters, by the
virus
way.
chases out, and the head of the Lightfang clan, this Glare guy, that's his name is Claire, is like, this is so weird. Go climb a mountain and look around or something, I guess. I'm sent out to look for virus clues at Login Mountain and run into my Lightfang friend, Kenpa, who's like, I don't know what happened. We got here and all the wild Digimon started attacking me and the other members. They left me behind to be mauled with no escape equipment. I'm fine now, but I think I'm just gonna go back to the city. She does that, and I start traversing the mountain. And this is where I experience my first complaint that everyone was talking about in this game. All the dungeons and areas and stuff are mazes. They're all mazes with absolutely bonkers wild Digimon encounter rates. You don't have a mini-map to know where you're going or where you even are any point of the dungeon. And there's no item to avoid the random encounters. Basically, I am realizing this is like
The
playing a
cutest
Pokemon
robot.
game, but the
Yeah.
whole game is
We're putting him together. We're putting Wally together. He's currently in his box format with his head sticking out a little bit, but that's only because I haven't quite figured out how to connect his arms yet. We are working on it, though. I just have to build the wheels now because we're on the wheel pages. And now I'm feeling bad for Jaden here because, yeah, the game not having a mini-map to follow, I wonder if that was a deliberate choice or if there was supposed to be a mini-map somewhere like in the lower screens. It could just be user error. I'm not sure because I've never played the game, so I can't judge her on it. But again, I've also only ever played the newer games because I've never touched the older games due to my lack of exposure and at the time waning interest in Digimon. Remember, I only got back into Digimon around 2020, 2021. So I have some separation there.
is a maze. You never know where you are because maps don't exist. Everything is wild grass, and there's no repels. I think I chose the wrong game. I end up stumbling my way to the top of the mountain. At least I think it's the top. I have no idea where I am and never will. And the other two guys who left a defenseless little girl to be roasted over a Digifire are getting beat up by a Digi-Eagle. I knock the bird in the head hard enough to make him come to his senses, and he apologizes for being mean, which is more than I expected, to be fair. And the guys are saved. By the way, I didn't know that Digimon spoke. I didn't know that they spoke to the people and talked and interacted. It's weird to me, and I never quite got over it. We return to the city and everyone's like, great job, Jaden, and then suddenly I'm left alone with absolutely no idea what to do or how to continue progressing. I'm trying to figure out if I have to like talk to someone or walk into the right room and someone's like, Jaden, we're all being traumatically and irreversibly turned into Digi-Eggs over here, or something, I don't know. And I do want to make sure you guys know that even the main hub is a maze. The amount of time I spent trying to figure out where I even am in the supposed safe space of the city overworld was pure comedy and frustration. Why is everything in this game perfectly designed to try and make me never open my DS ever again? I am just wandering around, walking in what I am 60% sure is a circle, left in the dark on what actions I need to take to keep playing a game I no longer want to play. I look it up and figure out that if I want to progress the story, I need to earn it. I have to walk into this building, talk to the Digi-Clerks, and complete multiple useless side quests that have nothing to do with anything to unlock another chunk of the main game. And let's not forget, all the dungeons are mazes. I said that already, but I want to reiterate. I have to go through mazes, sometimes multiple times, to unlock the important maze, but only for a little bit after I earn just a biscuit, just a crumb of that sweet, sweet story nectar. I'm humbled yet again by being told to go play more errand boy in more pointless mazes as the cycle continues. Surely this game is not serious. Surely this game didn't get an overall average to decent rating on multiple game review sites. Surely the people who said this game was pretty good, all things considered. We're secret enemies hoping to pull innocent victims into their dark, dark digiweb, looking to either break the weak or torture the strong. What is going on? Am I the only one who thinks this game was meant to be given to hostages to torture information out of them? I'm 3.
I love hyperbole when it comes to this because it's wonderful to hear someone basically berate an entire fandom over a game and its strange creation. It's one of the more playable games because it was one of the more accessible games. But again, she already kind of understands that, you know, this is from a fandom who's been battered and bruised and abused by Bandai to just consume the product without much given thought thereafter. So I do not blame her for the negative thoughts and opinions that she has, only because, yes, we are battered and bruised and abused by the very company who gives us what we want to enjoy, but they are also evil and they like to see us suffer by giving us mid games because Bandai would much rather pour all of their money into Dark Souls and Dark Souls. Jaden really should have played Digimon Stories or better yet, Survive. She even admits that she was told to give those a try, and she outwardly refused them because she didn't want to focus on the story with the other characters. She just wanted to focus on, like, the Digimon and stuff like that. The thing is that she's also weirded out by the fact that Digimon can talk, which if she ever watched the anime, that's just how they were. Some Digimon could speak because they weren't all feral. Some of them were quite sophisticated. Hell, one of the things in Digimon World is that they're only acting crazy because they've been far displaced from their homes and their memories were negatively affected by an individual who came into the digital world and fucked with them as an experiment called the Analog Man, who only viewed Digimon as packets of data and slaves and would then experiment on them to the point where they lost their memories, they were displaced from their homes, and some of them went absolutely fucking feral. And if you watch the original anime, the Digimon talk to their kids and the kids talk to their Digimon. That's just how it is. They communicated clearly. It's just how it was. So I have to wonder and I have to ask, was this done for a bit? Was this done to just make fun of Digimon fans? And the answer is kind of yes, kind of no. But again, I am ascribing maliciousness where ignorance would honestly just be okay. You know, it could just be ignorance. I don't need to establish any sense of malice here because honestly, if that's her experience with the game, that's her experience with the game. I'm not gonna, downplay what she may have experienced, but I do have to wonder if this was all done for a bit or not. It doesn't have to be done for a bit, I get it, but, it feels like that. Again, it feels like it, because there is no way that someone would choose this. But that is probably how it went, and I'm falling for the rage bait. She got her engagement. At the end of the day, she got her engagement, and she made the whole video to reach a conclusion. That conclusion we will get to as the video progresses. And that is... Yeah, I'm not going to spoil her final thought. We'll get there. We'll get there.
And I'm straight up ready to spill my mother's maiden name. And I still don't even know how to play the thing or what a Digimon is, because no, I do not want to read a Bible's worth of tutorials. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be the first person to use a Nintendo DS to kill a man. Let me cut this whole show short and just tell you the entire non-fluff plot of the game. Evil Fountain of Youth of Death virus turns all the Digimon into Digi-Eggs. Lightfang Clan thinks Nightcrow Clan is behind it because their chief is acting strange. Nightcrow Clan thinks Lightfang Clan is behind it because their chief is acting strange. The two realize neither of them are behind it because they've been mind-controlled to act strange. They find out there's an evil Digimon virus thing behind it all. Jaden beats it up, it fades away, and credits roll immediately. Bruh. How long did it take me to experience that story? 15 in-game hours. And I was cheating. I was using speed up and EXP codes and guides and ibuprofen. That time could have easily tripled if I was being a good little squeaky clean angel playing the game in its purest, most intended form. But if I did that, I would have thrown myself into the ocean. And even using all the resources I could find, it still was not a fun experience. Here's a clip of me trying to read a guide after my 5th time of being completely lost in a maze dungeon. If you've unlocked the macro sea, go there and head south, then go up and right to head to the south path leading to another screen, then go left after another screen, then go to the big bridge looking thing on the left. If you don't have the key, head south. Oh my god.
I didn't understand any of that.
I'm freaking out, dude. Not only was I subjected to maze after maze after maze, wild encounter after wild encounter, but throughout all of that, the game still expected me to do a cement mixer amount of grinding. No way, Jose! Do you know how many layers deep this agony cake is already? You want more? Sir, I am but a husk. As you can see, there's not a molecule of serotonin, dopamine, or endorphins in this lifeless body. There is nothing left for you to take. You have created a human raisin. I'm really sorry, Digimon fans. I really have nothing against Digimon as a whole. In fact, I absolutely loved a lot of the Digimon designs. When it comes to monsters and creatures, I have to admit, I am an edgy bitch, so I absorbed those guys like they were a little puddle of muddy water in a scorching, barren desert. Because metaphorically speaking, that's what they really were to me. Look at all these fellas! I'm surrounded by everything I could ever want in a monster. Pokemon could never. Maybe Aggron. I even got Big Warband.
Maybe Aggron.
He's my friend forever. Despite all my efforts, I chose the wrong Digimon game. I really did try. I'm sorry I didn't play Cyber Sleuth. I didn't know the other option was 1,000 punches to the skull. Regardless of the pain this game has inflicted on me, I can, against all odds, say I am coming out of this experience a bit of a Digimon enjoyer. Maybe I still don't know a single thing about any of it, but I have some favorite guys. I think they're cool. This evil game somehow didn't tarnish my view on Digimon as a franchise. I am damaged, but I forgive. One day I will play Cyber Sleuth and hopefully be able to commit to being a fully fledged Digimon fan. That's how I think it works. Until then, Digimoners, I'm worried about you. Please seek therapy. Hello, thank you for watching another
I don't need
video.
therapy,
If
fuck
you're
you,
still
but
here,
yeah.
I would like to announce secretly that
So yeah, that is the juxtaposition of it. That's the whole thing of it. Yeah, she at least came out of it fairly neutral. It's not necessarily for her, but she likes the monster designs, which, you know what, still makes her a Digimon fan, just not in the sense of like absorbing all the media that you can get your hands on. Understandable. Because there are plenty of Digimon fans who are coming into like the fandom not knowing a single thing about like the other mediums and stuff like that. And to that, I say, cool. You can do that. And I don't think anybody would have a problem with that on paper. I don't think anybody should have a problem with that on paper. I think that's pretty dope. If you told me that, okay, you're a fan, but not to the sense of absorbing all of it, you don't need therapy. You just need Sparky hugs. Facts, though. Though my Sparky hugs come with claws, like, I don't know if you noticed, but I got, 3 claw fingers. And it would kind of suck if I were to, chop you up in a hug. Just putting that out there. So yeah, she didn't come out of it like the biggest fan, but I also completely understand where she comes from. Because again, this fandom is, we'll call it peculiar. That's what we'll call it. Our fandom is a little bit on the peculiar side. I wish I could say that it was better than peculiar, but it really is just, it boils down to peculiarities. I wish it didn't boil down to that, but alas, we are here because that is just what we have. It's all we have. But again, I appreciate that she came into it fairly neutral, and I even appreciate more that she left fairly neutral. Again, not 100% a fan, but she came into it neutral and left it respectfully neutral as well. So for that, nothing but conveyance of hope and prayers that she wasn't too emotionally damaged to the point where we might need some therapy ourselves. But hey, that's why most of us play Cyber Sleuth. That's why most of us play Time Strangers, with Time Strangers being the GOAT. I would definitely say Time Strangers is the GOAT. DLC is a little hit or miss, but the main story is still pretty cool. And the Digimon and all that good stuff is pretty cool too. Considering the medium of the last 8 years, definitely Digimon grew up in its material. That too, it's a lot less kid-friendly. Well, okay, it's still kid-friendly, but still. If there are no claw marks, are you even doing it right? Very true. Very true. I should do more claw marks. I should definitely do more claw marks. I just realized the sun is setting. Oh my god, the sun is setting. Wait. Oy. Oh no. Hold on. There we go. I gotta turn on the light. Because I don't have, like, that's the other thing. I gotta get, like, better equipment. I need to get my hands on, like, a light that I can put behind my monitor so that I can keep my face lit up, because I do not have that type of lighting. I only have backlighting from the ceiling, and that's it. Because I think we talked about it last night, that there exists a web novel that you can read. Time Strangers was awesome, and Survive was traumatizing, extremely traumatizing. I can't even deny that. I just realized I should probably build the other one before I continue, even though the instructions don't mention it. I should. Hold on. Hang on, I'm going to try. I'm going to try to recreate what I did so that I can maybe make my steps a little bit easier, because this is the tedious part that I was terrified of doing before. Because this right here, we're getting to the treads, where we have to build each link in the belt. Ooh. And I want this to be done right, but I also want this to be done so that I don't have to come back to it and repeat my steps over and over again. So to do that, we're going to set that aside. Well, that was unfortunate. I need these pieces here to be cut out. Like Digimon Story, Time Stranger, very good stuff. A lot of good dialogue. I appreciate that they did put effort into the dub for that game, unlike Digimon World Next Order. Oh god, Digimon World Next Order's dub is definitely something. I would honestly recommend that when you play sub, because the acting in the dub is, well, it exists. It definitely exists. If you want better quality dubbing, you basically have to watch the Digimon movies, and I can tell you with certainty, you'll appreciate Digimon Adventure 2020, which is basically the reboot, even though it's a lot more Matt and Tai-centric, but, you know, it is what it is. Digimon Ghost Game, I have a personal love for, because that's just what I was introduced to first when I was being reintroduced to Digimon, and I have a soft spot for it, where it's so freaking cute. It's honestly diabetic. Dare I even say diabolical? But yeah. Hang on. Put this together. Let's make music together. Let's make sweet harmony. Oh, let's make music together, baby. I take the dough, you take the... Nope. I've been enjoying Beat Break, and that was the other anime I was just about to get into, because I've been catching up on Beat Break. Oh, baby, Digimon is so back. Wolvermon had no business being as cool as she was. Literally, one of her attacks is called Tomboy Blaze. Bandai, we know what you're doing. We know exactly what you are. There is no escaping the allegations. Trying to turn everybody out here into furries. And you know what? Deserved. Everyone should be a furry for Wolvermon. She is not conventionally built, but damn is she good. The dubbing can't be crazy as the Ghost Stories dub. Well, okay, Ghost Stories is different. Ghost Stories, they were basically abridging at the same time because it was very clear that they did not want to do that. They did not want to touch this with a 10-foot pole, but they did it anyway. But no, hang on. Oh, right. I have to put it in and then rotate it. But no, what it is that, the dub for Digimon, World Next Order is awful. I can definitively say trash. Samurai Pizza Cat's dub was really good. I have never seen Samurai Pizza Cats, and you know what? I'm starting to think that I should probably fix that in the future. I really should. I've been meaning to catch up on some old media that I haven't seen in years, and that might end up on my list in the future. That would be kind of cool. Okay, I think this part is here almost done. I just have to remember which marks go where. Okay. I think these are supposed to mirror each other, so I guess in theory, this would go like so. Okay. And then this one would go like so. Okay, I think I got it. So there is a slight dip to it. And did I do it correctly then? I did. Okay. Dope. All right. So I did both legs correctly. We just have to now get to the point where these will eventually be connected. Are you so for real? Wait. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so they slip in underneath. I did not see that before, and now that makes total sense. But none of this is going to matter if we don't have treads on these bad boys. So let's get to the part where I'm dreading, and that's putting all these pieces together. Basically, Saban didn't buy the script from the Japanese version, so they made an entire new script for all 52 episodes, and it was better than the original. Early 90s pop culture references went so hard and fourth wall breaking. I mean, that sounds about correct, considering that for Digimon Adventure, when I was growing up with it, I had to grow up and contend with the fact that Digimon has so many references put into it. Not necessarily a bad thing. It was just the only reason they did it was purely because, for lack of a better way of putting it, they didn't know how to respect the source material. Don't get me wrong. They still found a way to respect the source material. The way they did it was just, well, it was obnoxious. How many of these? 33. Bum 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 bum. The very thought of you feels like fantasy. Close your eyes, you remain close to me. When you're in my arms. Oh, I probably shouldn't sing that. I just realized. I will save that tune for another day when I feel like channeling into my inner Jobby the Hong toy reviewer. only because that man knew how to sing jazz, still knows how to sing jazz, and the idea that that motherfucker is the disappearing guy from the Amazing Digital Circus, good for him for making it into the world as not only a singer and toy reviewer, but as a goddamn voice actor. Bless you, my man. You've got a lovely singing voice. No, I don't. No, I don't. Piss off. No. I refuse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ooh. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh my gosh. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Ugh. I'm gonna bite you if you don't accept it. I wish you would. I wish you would. I just realized, was that 24? Hold on. I lost count. I lost count. Do you have a Discord? I mean, when you say do I have a Discord, like as in a personal account or as in like a server? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. So it is 24. 24 plus another 6 is 30. So, and I need 33. So 31, 32, 33. Okay. Okay. Both. I have an account, but I do not have my own personal server. I technically share a group server with my friends because we have a YouTube channel called Ovas, and that is where we conduct most, if not all, of our voice our collaborative voice acting projects. But it has been admittedly a hot minute since we have done anything together. That was for, if you know math, you know that I'm right. Listen here, you. You probably are right, but that's why I'm going to count carefully. Right now, I have a link of 5. If I have to go get more, I will go and get more. I just have to put all this together. The sad part is I've been told that this level of insanity exists if you have ever built the original real grade Zaku, because you had to take all those itty-bitty little parts and put it together on the tubes, which was apparently very tedious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But yeah, no, I have my own personal Discord. I don't have a server yet, but I do like to hang out with lots of other folks. I'm kind of that guy that likes to lurk and exist in other servers doing my own thing. I'm always terrified of advertising myself. I'm always terrified of putting myself out there. One of the things I've been wanting to do, !4. 4 equals 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 equals 24. Huh. I wasn't expecting that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm at 12. So this is 13. But yeah, no, I'm one of those guys who, even though I want to get involved in other projects. I'm terrified of doing it. I'm terrified of collaborating because what it is that my friends don't necessarily all share the same hobbies. Goki and I, for example, love Yu-Gi-Oh! We will talk for hours about Yu-Gi-Oh! All the cool support that the GMX series got and how that's been pretty dope. And we will definitely enjoy that, but unfortunately, because he's just starting his own VTubing stuff with his girlfriend, I've kind of been off to the wayside a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That isn't to say that I don't necessarily exist. 21. In the space, it's just 22. I don't get to interact with a whole lot of my friends because they're all busy doing their own thing. 23. 24. 25, 26, 27. Like, Schnun is deep in the Hell of a Boss and has been fandom. 28. I may have to recount this. 29. 30. 31, 32, 33. Okay. I made a belt. Should I add you on Discord for using Doubt Telegram as an option, as there's a furry Yu-Gi-Oh group on there? I wouldn't mind Telegram, but I don't have access to that. And honestly, because of the horror stories that I've read about Telegram in regards to the wider furry community, I have just not been able to look at it in a trusting light, I guess is probably the best way and polite way to put it. Wait a minute. Wait. What was the point? So what's the point of this parts over here? Why would it give me pre-molded? Okay, I'm not gonna get mad. I'm not gonna get mad. Already, you have pissed me off. Let me see. Is this one of those things where, like, it connects to be more solid? If it does, I don't see it, but okay. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, I'm in hell. Okay. Okay. If I can just connect these two pieces. If I can just connect these two pieces. Oh, I am in hell. Okay. Okay, we're going to go backwards. Maybe it's a matter of it being... The idea that these are functioning treads is kind of driving me nuts right now. Come on. Oh. I think I achieved victory. Hey. Oh, you have no idea how cool this is. Okay, so these teeth on the wheels actually serve a purpose. Check this out. It adds a level of authenticity. I dig that. That's so cool. That's so cool. So it gives it something to bite onto so that it all stays connected, and so that the belt can work when you're moving it around, so that if you have textured ground for this to go onto... let me make sure I put that in correctly, actually, now that I think about it. Did I? Oh. Damn it! I put it in wrong. I put it in wrong. No. Oh, I thought I was big brained. No. Okay, give me a sec. I gotta undo the belt again. Mm. Mm. Ah! I would add you on Discord. Yep. I completely understandable. I know how the AUDHD brain works. It's like how I'm deep in the My Hero Academia community. It's been fun though, because making friends and making fun content, I still pop in and see y'all every once in a blue moon. That's the thing though. Like, so over on Ovos, the channel that we do our collaborative content on, we have fun. It's just we haven't been able to sit down and do projects. And in part it's everyone's fault. And the reason I say it's everyone's fault is because nobody wants to necessarily take initiative. So, for example, I want to do a Godzilla project. There's a fun horror Godzilla comic that I've been wanting to dub for a while, and I'm not very well versed when it comes to video editing and stuff like that. So I need help. I fully admit that I need help. I know that I need help. I've always needed help, but I can't do that. I can't really get what I want in terms of the stuff that I want to do because, well, it requires me to get out of my comfort zone and ask my friends if they would like to do something that they probably don't have an interest in doing. And that's probably the biggest hurdle I have right now, is just that. Like, Schnun is deep in the fandom and has been working as a moderator for one of the Hell of a Zines and Has Been magazines. Let that sink in. She has been busy with that for months. And if you know exactly the one that I'm talking about, if you're in that fandom, then you know that they've been suffering through delays because, yay, the president of our North American servers really likes to make it difficult to get things done. Whoop-de-doo. Wolf has been hella busy with voice acting with gigs off to the side. He doesn't really do a whole lot of editing, so even though it would be cool to ask him to do some audio editing or audio engineering or video editing, he won't do it. He just won't do it. And then there's myself. I know how to do audio. I know how to do video. But I hate the idea of doing an entire project by myself to try and get it done when I really want to get it done, because everyone is like, oh yeah, no, just get it done. And it's like, cool. Can I get some help? Can we get some other voices in here that isn't just me? And that's kind of the frustration I've been going through. And as a result, we haven't been able to do much. It's annoying, but that's just where we're at. Is your Discord name the same as Twitch? I hate to be that person, but I'd have to check. Give me one moment. On Discord, I am... Why do I only see S? Is my name censored? Wait, why is my name censored? Hold on. Okay, so for some reason, my name on Discord is only showing up as just S. Give me a second. There we go. You're going to want to look up Sparky Raptor without the underscore. Oh, because of OBS. Right. Okay. Then, yeah, no, you can find me as Sparky Raptor. Only the S is capitalized, no underscore. You ain't censored for me. Okay, so it is just, well, hey. It is just something else then. Okay, neat. Here, let me type it down so it's easy. I almost typed in an entirely different name. Why would it ever do that? Why? It's that, Sparky Raptor. Well, with a capital S. Oh, it's done. Oh, shoot. Well, let me double check then. I see a notification. Oh, there it is. Friend request. Pending. Bing. Bong. The deed is done. There. Now we're friends. Okay. Now, I just realized that there is no music. I've been yapping this entire time, putting stuff together, and no music. Because I'm an insane person, apparently. Oh, man. Streamer mode enabled. Okay, that's what it is. But, like, that's all it basically boils down to. Is just, we're all busy doing our own thing. And because we're all busy doing our own thing, well, it results in us just being unable to kind of coordinate with each other to do collaborative projects. Schnun hasn't streamed for a while because she's been busy with the zine stuff. And because she's doing the zine stuff, she refuses outright to work on any other projects. And as a result, we don't have anything going on. And now if I want to get us rolling off the ground, I basically have to do it myself. So the Godzilla project that I want to do may have to just be entirely coordinated by me. I'll have to do the paneling. I'll have to do the video work. I'll have to do the audio work. If I want to figure some stuff out, I'm just going to have to get used to using Premiere blindly so that I can make it work. So yeah, it's a trial by fire situation for me, and I'm not a fan of it because I want to be able to do it where I can provide content on our collaborative channel, but now the only thing I have left for me is just this streaming thing, and honestly, the streaming thing, I have fun with it. I love streaming, and I love yapping into the void and seeing who listens and who catches in, but I also know that it's not a sustainable form of content creation. So I'm going to have to eventually sit down and work on video production for potential shorts. Like, I have a few ideas in my head that I want to do. One of those ideas that I want to do even being something as innocuous and as simple as, what does your Digimon partner say about you? It sounds so simple on the surface, you know, and I kind of like it as a result. I love the idea that I could probably in the future start a video idea or start a video talking about, like, hey, so what does your digital monster partner say about you? And it could be something as simple as, so your partner is Agumon. So you're a fan of always having your limits pushed. You are 100% okay with this nosy little critter basically digging through your stuff and probably finding some stuff that you's not supposed to find and asking you questions about, why do you have this? You're also a fan of eating large quantities of food. If you think you have a big appetite, more than likely this Agumon will match you bit for bit and blow for blow. And if you think that you got full, no the fuck you didn't. Your Agumon is ready to go and get some more. That kind of thing. Super simple. And I've been wanting to do stuff like that for a hot minute, just for the sake of having fun. Even getting into the creative writing aspects of maybe hosting, or not hosting, but rather doing small story vignettes of, like, reading the news about the digital world. Like, you know, this just in, Monochromon has a sale going on for healing discs. Turns out he has a huge quantity and a huge stock from those who apparently thought they didn't need any sort of healing and vaccination during the time of the great X-Virus Purge. And as a result, the demand has increased and his supply is plentiful. So much so that he's actually slashed the price in half to move product and to ensure that anybody who needs it can afford it. Stuff like that. Did you just friend anyone on Discord? Sometimes I'll friend people on Discord. It doesn't really bother me if I friend anybody because, either we talk in DMs, which is pretty dope, or we don't talk in DMs, and that's also pretty dope. Like, for me, I'm kind of used to the solitary lifestyle where I don't get to communicate with a lot of people. It just kind of happens. Like, I'll have people on the friends list. Sometimes we'll talk. Sometimes I'll forget that we even have DMs because, we're adding and we didn't do anything after the fact. And as a result, it annoys some people because then it's like, so then what do you do? And I tell them, unfortunately, I don't do a whole lot. I'm usually by myself, so I'm used to that aspect of just being alone. I play solo games. I play sometimes competitive games entirely on my own. And one of the things that's going to suck is that a lot of games that require the use of anti-cheat to run, I'm not going to be able to play soon because I'm making the transition over to Linux. Not because of anything bad, I just like the idea of not having a million gigs of spyware loaded onto my system, against my will. Not the best reasoning, I don't think, but hey, it's a reasoning for me, and it works. Oh. Here we go again. There we go. Did I put it on correctly this time, or did I put them both wrong? I did it wrong again. The treads are supposed to face a certain direction so that when they're spinning, they grab onto the earth a certain way so that it propels the unit forward. You got to think about it from a logical standpoint. You want the treads facing a certain way. So that way, when it comes to movement, it is not hindered by a lack of grab, or from lack of grip, rather. I hear noise at my window. Oh, it's raining! Hell yeah, I love rain. There we go. Okay, I think I got both. Yeah, I got both these legs done. Linux too good. It really is. It's just I'm not a fan of certain online games and their desperate need to, how do I put it? Their desperate need to constantly push spyware and trashware. Fair enough. I have so many people friended that I forgot they existed. See, exactly. That's kind of my point. And I want to learn how to do Linux because, well, I want to learn how to do things on my own in a way that gives me some freedom. And in order to achieve that, I have to get used to the idea that I'm going to be coding my own stuff. And I'm learning that. I'm learning it as best I can. Is it perfect? No. But Schnun, who's also learning how to use Linux, is going to patiently sit down and mess with me a little bit because she is learning how to do it first because she wants to get production stuff going. She wants us to learn how to use DaVinci Resolve. She wants us to learn how to use stuff that isn't necessarily Adobe programs. So that way we can move past it and get into something that's a bit more comfortable to work with. And in order to do that, we got to get used to using Linux, setting up shortcuts and pathways and directories, and basically making it so that our system works the way that we personally want it to work. And so that's what I'm learning. And once I get the hang of Linux and how it works, I'll be able to stream probably more efficiently, and I won't have to worry about how much RAM that the AI on this stupid Windows PC wants to eat alive. Even though now apparently I can uninstall, yeah, I can apparently uninstall Copilot, and I did, but guess what? The computer didn't get any easier to work with. Almost like the Copilot isn't the only problem, it's also the sheer amount of trashware on the computer. One day I will get past that. That day, unfortunately, is not today. Once I do get past it, though, it's going to be wild. My productivity will go through the roof because I will finally have a computer that thinks as, or rather is as well put together as what I want it to be. Dang, that rain is getting loud. Hey, God, you frying chicken out there? Nah, for real, though, God, you piss loud as fuck, and I think that's pretty cool. If you know, you know, and if you don't know, I am so sorry for you that you had to find out this way. Sparky Summers. What do you mean, Sparky Summers? What do you mean another Sparky has entered the chat? Hi, Sparky. Welcome to the Sparky Coalition. Do you piss louder than God right now? Because I don't think anybody pisses louder than he does. I'm pissing pretty loud, not gonna lie. Oh my God. You piss loud as fuck. You know, that's pretty cool. Let's see, put that there. That's 3, and this is 2. Okay, I see how this is supposed to be set up. So on this side, okay. Did I already get them mixed up? I sure did. Okay, so these stationary treads are for when his legs are in the fold-up position. Okay, that makes way more sense than where I thought it was going. Sparkquisition. Ah, yes. No one expects the Spark Inquisition. But hello, Sparky, and hello, Sparky. Also, first time chatter. Technically, welcome, welcome. By the way, do you Sparkies know each other, and do you actually have like your own coalition of people who are named Sparky? Like, I'm not saying it as a bad thing. I'm just genuinely curious now, because it sounds pretty cool. Do I get a cool T-shirt if I join the coalition? Sparky mods for me, LMFAO, and a lot of other folks. Oh my gosh. Maybe I should turn that Sparky into a mod. People will think that it's a Sparky bot, and it's like, that's not a bot. That's a whole ass critter. We're all critters. Also, pronouns. I should probably ask that. I always forget to do this. But what are your pronouns? So that way I may address you accordingly, so I don't accidentally misgender you. I'm not doing it because of anything crazy. It's just respect. Purely just respect. Gems. Hey, as long as you're genuine, gems. Sounds good to me. I think I know how this is supposed to go. Yep, sure enough, that's the little box mode. So then how do I fold up his head to make it go into that converted mode? Maybe that's mentioned in the next page? Oh. That's to assemble Wally, but what about in his closed configuration, since I'm already on the closed configuration? Okay. Am I going to regret this? I'm probably going to regret this. Am a carbuncle. Oh my god! Neopronouns are based as fuck. Those are pretty cool. He, him. Okay, so for unknown, it's he, him. And critters. Hell yeah. Okay, so Sparky, that is 15756. I may have forgotten, but what are your pronouns? So that way I can remember this also, because now it seems like our Sparky coalition. So we have a carbuncle, gems. That's adorable, actually. That is so freaking cute. That's so cute. Oh, I see how this is supposed to work. I have to remove that. How in the frick am I supposed to remove that, actually? Like, does it pop off easily, or... Hold on. Oh, you are going to drive me absolutely up a wall. Already, I am pissed off. I guess I'm going to have to keep you in the not folded configuration, because that just... This seems like a whole lot of inconvenience for what amounts to something I don't ever want to display you in. Take you out of box mode right now. Get out. We do not want no fake collapsed mode in this house. In fact, decapitates your Wally. This feels wrong. I'm so sorry, Wally. Let us fix this problem by putting your legs on. I like that. Putting your other legs on. Come on. Oh, that's cool. Oh, it's starting to come together. Gosh. Oh, that's going to be so cool. It's going to be so cool. Hold on. Okay, so those arms do clip over there. So I just have to figure out which ones I want clipped on. I want short and stubby. So we're going to choose this. It mentioned assembly here. So let me go here. Okay. All right. So it does clip on like that. Hold on. Hold on. Let me just... Am I doing it wrong? Oh, I am doing it wrong. Hang on, so that we don't break it. Oh. Come on. Oh. I guess that's where it just stays? It doesn't feel right, but it might just be because I'm messing up somewhere, and that's probably what it is. Okay. Okay, let me try on this side now that I know the correct orientation. Okay, so I just have to apply a little bit of force, and now it's hooked on. Yeah, okay. All right, Wally, it looks like we are making progress. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. And now for the piece de resistance, his actual head. Now, doesn't he cut a dashing little figure? Hang on. Can we get him in that travel mode where his hands are kind of down T-Rex style? Let's see. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-da, ba-dum, ba-ba-dum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-da, ba-da, bum, ba-ba. Bum, ba-bum, ba-ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum, bum, ba-bum, ba-bum, bum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Aw. That's so cute. Oh, that is so cute. And I think his legs, yep, they're on ball joints, so they can be as expressive as what we want them to be. Oh, that is so cute. Oh, look at you. I definitely need to hit you up with some top coat and some paint, because gosh, that would be so cool. I have cuteness aggression for this little guy now. There's no helping it anymore. And I guess these parts here are supposed to be for when he enters his collapsed state. Or not collapsed state, but rather his compact form. So that he can be stored away, I guess, in whatever storage he would be placed under, I think. Which is cool. That's certainly a choice. Not a choice that I would personally want to make. I like fold-up legs. That's pretty cool. The arms for when you want them stored and compact is pretty cool. Tinier head so that it can be that, you know, exactly that. Put it in box mode. But now we have this cute little fella, and I love him. He's got the same level of articulation as in the movie, so his legs can go like that, which means you could probably, thanks to the way that his legs slide out, like so, from the bottom here, if you wanted to get something a little bit more expressive and silly, you absolutely could, and make him have his legs stuck out so that he can recreate some sillier scenes. I think that's pretty cool. Ooh, let's put his leg back there. And again, good articulation here. His arms exist on this little panel, which was a little bit of a pain in the butt to get them on, but it guarantees that if you need him to stretch out his limbs, he will have incredible reach no matter which position he's in. Just bear in mind that the back of the track here is where the arm can pop out. So that's pretty cool. And the best part about where he's at now is the fact that in this version with his head, he entirely has that level of expressiveness where you can mess with his eyes and it can convey a different emotion depending on how you set it up. You can even recreate that bit where he's trying to reconfigure his eyes a little bit. Or be like me and make him look angry with his eyebrows and the eye placements, and his rage against the machine is always ever growing like Mr. Johnny 5. Ah, that's so good. I like that. I wasn't expecting to actually get him finished today, but here we are. And let's make him a little bit on the droopy side and put his eyes together, and there he is. Would you hurt this little guy's feelings? Like, genuinely, would you? He's the only AI that I think we would tolerate in the world of the Clanker apocalypse. Even if that may be heretical, don't ever mention it to the Council of Truth, okay? I cannot stress this enough. I will not go to prison. I will not tolerate having to put up with going to jail because of, you know, the what do they call it? The Ministry of Truth didn't personally approve of my message type of thing. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. If you've been playing Helldivers, you get it. Wally is based. Wally is incredibly based. He's got them little autistic T-Rex arms. You know the type of walk that is. If you don't know, then I don't know what to tell you. You're secretly autistic and you just didn't know it. But he looks incomplete. He looks incomplete. We need to fix this. And I think there is a way to do that. I just have to... I appreciate that they even come with a solar panel. So if I take the front section off... Let me see. If I take the front section here off, I can put the solar panel for when he wants to, you know, collect his rays. because you got to keep that battery charged. I think that's pretty cool. This panel here is removable so that you can change his battery reading. The idea that it's etched on there is a nice detail. Everything is etched on here. This looks durable. Like the paint doesn't look like it's going to chip off unless you try really hard to make it chip off. And I guess there's supposed to be a back cover over here, and that's what this is for. But as we know, and especially if you've seen the movie, we don't need a back cover. We need a place, a special place. This little hook is here for hopefully in the future when we get our hands on a Mo model kit. There better be Mo. I need either Mo or Eve, or both. Both would make me happy. But why would he need this little hook for now? He's got a little lunchbox. He's got to take his stuff with him to work whenever he finds something he wants to take home to his pet roach. And sure enough, it fits more or less how it is in the movie. Hell yeah. That's pretty cool. It's a little bit on the loose side. I don't like how unsecure that. Actually, that's very secure. Wait a minute. Wait. That was kind of good. Wait a minute. Hold on. I misjudged you. I misjudged greatly. Oh, and that's the reason why. Okay, I didn't realize it. There's a hollow point under the handle here. So when it slips underneath, it is secure. That's pretty cool. So now he has his little backpack. Hold on. We got to have his pet roach that goes with him everywhere he goes. He has his own little fire extinguisher. We all know what that was for, so he could fly through the vacuum of space. But more importantly, he has the one thing that I have to really make sure I put in his hands, because he has to present it to Eve, because it was for her directive. If you already have seen the movie, you already know what it is, but hey, we have to have it. The boot. We got to have his boot. The boot that contains a single seed, proof that life could flourish on the planet long after we had been gone. Except he's got a weak bitch grip, and this thing is actually very heavy rubber, which I was not expecting. So because of his bitch grip, we have to present it with his hand upward, thumb on top of the boot, and voila! We have it. We hate bitch grip. We do. We hate bitch grip in this house. I could also alternatively store that boot into his lunchbox and it would service the same effect. Or we can open up his chassis here because, hey, okay, Wally, I'm going to have to ask you. Hey, Wally, that's indecent. How could you? We could open up his trash compactor here and we could probably store the boot in there. So that way, oh, there we go. So that way he could present it to Eve safely, because I don't remember correctly, but I don't think he took his lunchbox with him to space. He had to go entirely without the lunchbox, if memory is serving me correctly. TOS, wow. Exactly, I know. I violated TOS. We had to flash it. Hold on, like I can't believe we did that. I can't believe we did that. But Wally, you can't just present. Wally, no. Wally, no. Can't believe you've done this. And the plant kind of falls apart a little bit too easily. But I appreciate that. There's a diverse set of materials here for the kit. Like, the whole thing is plastic, but there's rubber hoses for the back of the head. These eye plates are interchangeable. They feel like they're going to be a bit of a problem to remove and then plug in to do the different expressions. This boot is actually 3 pieces. The dirt inside of it, for example, is actually a separate piece. And this is made of a soft, rubbery material that can easily come apart by the look of it. So just be careful with that so that you don't lose it. And the plant piece goes in the hole that you saw for the dirt pile. And then voila, you can recreate the boot. It's not that bad. I appreciate that this is here, because the idea that it's here tells me that there was an attention to detail when putting this kit together. I've seen plenty of model kits that attempt to, like, they attempt to do an entire, like, movie tie-in with their creations. And most of the time, because of the nature of the movie tie-in, they fall short. Like, they don't put in enough features that they're supposed to put in. They don't make enough, like, little references to the movie. But this one, surprisingly, is chock full of good stuff here. You have his arms that are sliding around so they can be placed in any position to make him nice and expressive. His fingers are individually articulated on little ball joints. So if you want him to do that whole hand together thing with Eve, if they ever decide that they're going to release an Eve model kit, God, please release an Eve model kit. My life will be yours if you release an Eve model kit. I can't handle the idea that Wally here is alone without Eve. That hurts my soul in ways that I cannot comprehend. And, you know, it can't perfectly transform. That's the only sad thing that I've noted here, is that he can't perfectly recreate his own transformation without the use of parts forming. But hey, no model kit and no Transformers kit out there is perfect. So having parts off to the side where you can potentially change him and convert him from one form to another is not a bad thing. Did you just tell me to hydrate? Hold on. I'll get a drink. My bad. My bad. I've been talking way too much. And I was so distracted by all this that I forgot to check the chat and see what you Sparkies have been saying. My bad. My bad. Ugh. Wow, how could you? I know. You can even call me Shirley, but never call me late for dinner. I would never call you late for dinner. By the way, love the model. You're absolutely adorable. Oh, thank you. This is Pulsemon. Or rather, I'm Pulsemon. I dig it. There's an auto mod? Okay, get out of here. Oh, that's why. Wet thy thrussy. I have the distinct impression that if I'm left alone with the coalition of Sparkies, I would be reduced to an object of affection that would not be suitable for Twitch TOS. But I wouldn't oppose. Anyway, I wouldn't oppose. Shook my head TOS. Wow. Automod, wet thy thrussy. Oh, man. I have a friend group who will absolutely adore you. Hey, yo. Hey. You started it first when you said thrussy. Well, okay. That Sparky said thrussy. You didn't say thrussy, but you get the point. And yeah, we did it. We made progress, and just in time, because I actually wanted to stop streaming before Goki Doki Peachy went online, because I don't want to conflict with their audience. They're really cool, and I think they deserve way more love than I do. I am nothing but an innocent little reprobate. I won't lie to you. There's a joke about inappropriate self-loving somewhere in there. But I have the distinct impression that you don't do that so much as you would probably use me. Anyway, we need to conclude the stream here because I do need to, like I said, make some space for Goki Doki Peachy because they're going to be streaming on their channel. And yes, they're doing pretty good on their side of things. They're also streaming on Twitch and YouTube. They're doing their own multi-streaming. If you love a cute couple VTuber duo, where one is a monkey man and the other one is a woman with peach accessories, you will absolutely adore them. And you need to eat. I do. I think it's dinner time. Yeah, it's dinner time over here in the US servers. Okay, I like this one. I get the distinct impression that I'm doomed. I am doomed with the lot of you if I'm left alone with the lot of you. The lewdness might be turned up a factor or two. So we'll see how that goes. But now I'm going to conclude. Hopefully the next time I hop onto a stream, I don't know when that will be. It'll probably be sometime during the week because, yeah, I got to make sure I make some room for myself. Maybe I'll play a video game. Maybe I'll make another model kit and put that together. I don't know yet, but we'll see. We'll see. For now, talk to you later. Thanks for always dropping by. I was so glad to see some old faces come in and see some new faces, even if we're just now becoming a coalition of Sparkies. When will the council have their meeting? Ow, 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 ow.